everyone to Passion Project, the show where runners showcase the run that they've been working so hard on. You might notice that I am not Amber Cyprin. Unfortunately, Amber is under the weather, so we wish them a get well soon. In the meantime, I'm Helix, here to fill in for the Passion Project Halloween special. Before we get into the speedruns, just a quick reminder that Games Done Quick is hiring. If you're a business developer or have experience in recruiting sponsorships and would like to work for GDQ, apply at gamesdonequick.com/jobs. But I have rambled on long enough already. I am here with Big Scared, and I will let them take it away.
Thank you, Helix. Hi, I am Big Scared. I'm a queer variety caster here on Twitch. I play a lot of horror games, and tonight I'm going to be in my element as I take y'all on a journey through the Gloom Below DLC for the Chant. I'm joined by my dear friend JPEG. Would you like to say hi, Jay?
Yeah, hi, hello. My name is JPEG, and I am here for the incredible vibes that both Big Scared and the Chant provide, so I'm super excited.
Awesome. Without further ado, we're going to get this kicked off. Time starts when the selection here is made, so that's going to be in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with The Chant, this is a third-person survival horror game that came out late last year. It is developed by Brass Token Games. This is their first game, and it is incredibly robustly made.
Yes.
The DLC came out last month, and it has been a delight routing this. So I'm super stoked to show this off to you. Right now, there are 2 people running this, myself and my teammate Garlips, and I'm currently the world record holder as of today. So, you know, we could get some gold. Thank you. We could get some even better gold. We could vibe, or things could go terribly, because this, my friends, is a roguelite. Unlike the main game, this DLC takes a stark and different perspective. Death is integrated into the experience in a wide variety of ways. There's a leveling up system in addition to your leveling up system, and one of those 2 level up systems resets every time you die. So the goal here is to not do that ever. We're also not gonna be doing most of the skill tree upgrades in the main menu. All right, we got friends here. Oh, we got
already
grabbed.
Normal things happening. I don't know if y'all noticed that this was in fact a horror game, but yeah, it's a horror game.
We got some really cool looking dogs in here. Unfortunately, they are not our friends.
This game is full of cool looking dogs. It's cool looking frogs and cool looking dogs everywhere you look in this game.
It's true, it's true. And we are here specifically to collect an item. This is an egg sack. Don't pay too much attention to what it says. But we need this egg sack so that way we can make a specific type of juice. Now, Jay, do you like juice?
I do like juice. I like a nice, refreshing, like, limeade, personally.
Ooh, limeade is good.
Helix, what's your favorite juice?
I think I gotta go with the limeade, honestly. I second that.
Yes, team limeade.
Delicious. Unfortunately, I don't have any limeade for you. I have egg sack juice. Is that good enough?
Sure. Why not?
I think that was my nickname in high school, so.
Dang. So in addition to the egg sack that we have found, we will need several other items. I'm making a wrong turn here. No, there's a party! So we gotta wait for the party to disperse. Hello?
An introvert's nightmare.
Hello? Get out of the way! I know we're on GDQ, stop showing off! Please. Okay.
They're like, oh my gosh, hi, Mom!
Single file, please. Come on. Come on. Are y'all are for real? All right. So, the cost benefit of what just happened is that we are now in a panic state. The cool and the terrible thing about the panic state is that you are faster. But because you are faster, you are also much more vulnerable. And so every time the screen goes dark like that, we are a one hit down. So you'll notice that I will take advantage of the panic state at several points throughout the run, but that one was not intentional.
That is a really interesting risk-reward dynamic.
Oh, I do want to ask, Big.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, checking my notes here, that this is actually a post-campaign DLC. This is like a post-main game situation.
Yeah.
Do you run this on a maxed out main game? How much does it matter?
So the Gloom Below is a standalone. It drops you off at the end of the mind ending, which in my opinion is, this is risky. One of the weaker of the 3 endings. But the way that it expands upon it, it adds more detail into what the cult was doing on this island before our main character Jess arrived. Oh, come on, don't grab me. Don't grab me.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
We're good. We're just gonna keep running. We're just gonna keep running. Nobody panic except for the main character. I need her to run faster. Except I'm gonna grab that.
You are brave. You are so brave.
All right. Here we get a brief moment of respite. We're gonna recharge our mind and our spirit. The body we have to eat ginger for.
Yeah, this game loves the different herbs for different HP, because like lavender is for
Lavender
panic.
restores your panic bar, yes, in your mind stat. Ginger ups your health and your body stat. And spirit caps, boast your spirit meter. Surprise, surprise. Because this is a post-game state, we have all of the abilities that you would normally have at the end of a playthrough. And they are at minimum sort of status. That being said, throughout this DLC, the roguelike system lets you upgrade them up to 3 times per skill. You only get 6 upgrades per run, though, and so that's why, the randomization is important to consider. We're getting our first power upgrade here. I'm gonna take damage amp on stasis, so that way every time someone is frozen, we hit harder. All right, that's our first checkpoint. We will have to come back to this blue zone later when we have bone dust extract. Yes, bone dust extract. But in the meantime, we're going to ignore our friend Kim. We're going to ignore Monroe, who is a villain stuck to that wall. And we're just going to go immediately into this orange area.
This game loves color.
Yes.
I love that it's a horror game that went, no, it can still be colorful. And they really went into it.
Yes. And this is something I find really unique about this game. It is highly saturated, and in the most recent update of the game, the devs doubled down and they're like, you know what? We can make it even more saturated, more vibrant, brighter, prettier. We can make this area more enticing. And then they also threw this visceral intestinal area in here too. So it's got a little bit of something for everyone.
Cover all your bases.
Yeah, it's got the gorgeous color palettes. It's got the sticky icky. It's just a spectacle. The thing about this DLC, though, is it has additional weapons and additional enemy types. So you'll notice that I threw what is effectively a lightning in a bottle. That is not in the base game. Neither is an item that I'll be using later on. That is a crystal sword.
It would be wonderful if those were in the main game, though.
I would love them to be in the main game, but they're not.
If you haven't seen the main game, it's also an absolute treat. Just throwing that out there.
And for those of you who are curious, I will be running the main game on Fright Fatales later this month.
Yeah.
But here we are. We have another Manticore. We're going to pull out its heart. Don't ask why we have to do this, because I don't know why we have to pull out its heart. We just do.
It's fine. This is all just regular things that happen. And aren't we underwater as well?
Yes, we are underwater. In the intro cutscene of this DLC, We were on a ship with our BFF trying to be rescued. I didn't grab the key. How do I get back there is the question I have. We were on a boat with our BFF, and we were trying to be rescued after coming out of this retreat. And we got sucked into a nest of some kind. I am straight up lost right now. Oh no, I know where we're going.
Roguelites, baby.
I know where we're going. We gotta cycle back through here. Get up. Oh no! And there's a death. That's okay. We just spawn right back at the middle. All of our shortcuts are open, and we have no powers to lose.
Yeah, that's true.
This was a pretty optimal place to take a death. Wait, actually, let me grab my stuff. I don't want to talk to you, Kim, but I want my stuff. Thank you.
Do we still have egg sac juice? That's what I want to know.
We have infinite
Perfect.
egg in our inventory, which is a change from the main game.
Oh.
So,
You know, I was really worried.
yeah, so there is a section in the main game where you need to do some botany and chemistry, where you need to like gather plants and then mix them in a particular way. In that segment, you have to go pick up items every time you use them, and so if you mess up while mixing it, you have to like walk all the way back over to the planter and get new plants. In this one, you have infinite item once you pick it up, which is beautiful. Okay, that door's locked. We're gonna go this way. We don't need to be.
I just love the horrendous screaming as you're very calmly explaining what's going on, and then this game is making horrible visceral screaming.
Yeah, the squelching sounds are everything for me. But we are back on track, gamers. I found the way I need to go. You gotta follow the arrows. And when you're in black and white mode, those become extremely difficult to see.
Oh, that's a good point.
I do love these big, horrible frogs.
They are so gushy, and they explode when they die, which is not something they did before.
They just added new things.
They did. They added a lot in the update. So in addition to the graphics updates, the increase in saturation, and the addition of health bars, here's the mistake I made. I was supposed to go in here. They've also added like additional abilities to your powers. So they can do things like double swarm or like serrated spikes, which is things that your abilities didn't do before. Now, I'm mentioning these things as if y'all know about them.
They don't mean anything.
The reason why we have these abilities is because we picked up a bunch of crystal gems and then harnessed their powers, which makes us sound a lot like Thanos, but trust me, we're like good Thanos.
You said that, and I was like, okay, so like Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah, we are the crystal gems. All right, we're back at it. And here's the thing. I mentioned earlier before we got started that there were a couple checkpoints, like where the difficulty really ramps up. That was not one of them. We are rapidly approaching the part of the run that I consider the choke point. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Hey, but that's why we're here, is also because you're passionate about this.
It's true. I love this game.
You do love this game. I loved when the DLC dropped. What I need y'all to understand in chat is that when the DLC dropped, I have never heard such unbridled joy and excitement over something making this disgusting noise and sound you're hearing this game. You're hearing this like horrible squelching and screaming and like crying, and then just big over the top of it going, oh, this is the best. This is so beautiful. They did such a good job.
It's true, they did.
Iconic.
They smashed
this is real
it.
passion.
This is what I love about speedrunning and about Passion Project, though. Is
Yes.
just how excited we get about our respective speed games. It's always so
Yes.
cool.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right,
It was a good day.
I have to run back and do something with my egg real quick. Don't mind me. Gamers.
With your infinite egg.
Yes, I have infinite egg. We also have a shortcut. Now, there's something I'm not passionate about this game, and it is the speed at which Jess climbs ladders. That was so slow.
Out of everything she's doing, is she just like, you know what? I can't die by falling down a ladder. This is not the way I'm gonna go.
So, in my process of learning, not only the run for this DLC, but like the run for the main game, I did some of what my teammate Garlips refers to as the science, right? Where you aggressively try to break it. And we learned that this game is very robustly programmed. If you try at all to clip down the ladder, nothing's gonna happen. There's exactly one time that you can make Jess fall down a ladder, but the setup for it is so ridiculous. You gotta be at the top of the lighthouse, and you gotta come at it at just the right angle, and you gotta do a magic ability, plus a push, plus a swing, and it takes so long, and it's so precise to set up that it isn't even worth the time it takes to do, because she falls so slow, and then immediately grabs the ladder again. Yes,
Curse
she
these
climbs
devs.
back up. And so, like, shout out to Brass Token.
Yes.
You thwarted us in every possible way
Yes.
on breaking your game. I salute you. But also, please let us fall down the ladder.
It's like, I love you. I love your dedication. You made an incredible game. I wish I could break it just a tiny, tiny bit.
Let me have
just
that,
as a
please.
treat. Just let me break it a little, just one time, as a treat.
Now, if you're wondering what I was going to do with that juice, our friend here is hungry. And so I'm just going to pour it in their mouth.
Aww,
And then they're gonna leave us
snacky.
alone. Isn't that great?
That's what happens when you pour. That's what happens when you pour juice into someone's mouth. They just apparate. They just. Please don't quote me on this. I will not. I will not confirm I said this later.
I'm quoting you right now.
You're gonna pause your run to tweet.
Yes.
We were in orange areas, and we were in pink areas. Now we're in green.
And so, in addition to, like, the new weapons, the new enemy types, the new environments, we also have this, which is cycle-based movement puzzles that are in the spirit of Little Nightmares. I was terrified about this when I realized they added this to the game, because I was like, oh no, whatever will I do? But the reality is, you can kind of just walk through it, and it doesn't matter. If you get hit, it blasts 6 times and then resets. It's less of an issue here, but the choke point that we're coming up to later on, it will absolutely cause problems for me.
Yeah. It does make everything kind of like a fun and funky disco when it's happening. It's
It
just
is.
that it's. Oh my gosh! It's the real life Panic at the Disco.
I chimed in with, haven't you ever heard of Closing the Gloom Next Door?
Oh my god.
It's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of egg and irrationality.
Yes, egg! Egg in chat if you agree.
True.
Can we get some egg in chat?
Nope.
Let me see those egg emotes.
So you might be wondering what's up with this combat system, because I'm assuming that a lot of you probably haven't played this game. We are using a wide variety of like new age spiritual items as defense weapons. So you'll notice that I'm wielding a sage stick right now. We also have a witch stick, which is a variation of the sage stick. There's the fire lash, which is a discipline weapon used by the cult. We have salts. We have oils and essential oils. And then we also have these new items down here. So we got it all, gamers.
That guy just like haymaker you from the back.
He
just
did.
Like one punch to the back of the head.
He tried to wombo combo me.
Rude.
Now,
Also, thank you, chat, for the eggs.
thank you for your egg. I need them in these trying times.
You already have infinite eggs. I guess more never hurts though.
Yeah, but egg sack and actual egg, not quite the same.
Ooh,
Yeah.
true.
I need an egg to put in the egg sack. Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. I just saw non-essential oils.
Non-essential oils? Yeah, we've got those too. All right. I mentioned a choke point. We are rapidly creeping up on it. It's not this room, but it will be coming up after this room, and you'll know exactly what I mean when we get there. But for now, I've just got a very overzealous dog and a very affectionate frog.
Dog and frog. See, this game is not so bad. There's cool pets that just want to give you hugs. We have everything. We have snacks. We have pretty colors. I don't think this is a horror game, actually.
You know, that was my secret all along. I wanted to be on this hotfix to show the horror of regular life.
Oh no.
This is what regular life looks like. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
What do you mean your backyard doesn't look like this?
Oh, bestie, please.
This is just a standard backyard in Southern California.
You know what? I'm gonna use the sword. I wasn't planning to use the sword, but we're gonna.
We're energy sorting.
Why do you have the zoomies, dude?
So excited to be on GDQ. Like, oh my gosh, I'm here.
I know.
I'm here. Hi, Mom.
It's also trying to speedrun.
It's trying to speedrun resetting me %. I love that. Why are you swimming? Come back. Oh wait, we're underwater, that's why.
True. Big if true.
Hello?
I love the teleport animation of just crouching and covering your face.
Yeah, it's iconic. I also love the meditation animation, which we don't use in the speedrun because we don't try to preserve our mind stat. But in a casual play, that's something you'll probably really, really gravitate towards.
Are we here?
This is
Is
it.
it time?
It's time.
Yep.
And I am severely under-equipped for this room. It's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna get dicey in here, but that's okay.
It's all right. We're getting spicy.
Spicy and dicey. It's a regular Pico de Gallo in here right now.
Hey, yo, now I'm hungry.
This game will do that to you.
Nope. Nope.
Ooh,
And so you can see the lasers are... You can use them against the enemies in this room at your own risk, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Woo!
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
That actual
You got
stun
this.
saved my life.
Incredible.
Ooh!
Oh.
Woo!
That's okay.
Welcome
We're
to
just
the
getting
Chant,
little
baby.
kisses.
We're getting hugs.
Yep. We're getting hugs from cool dogs. There's
All right.
lots of colors.
That's wave 1. This room isn't over. You thought it was over?
Nope.
Oh, that's swell.
It's a roguelite with wave combat. And here's just a bunch of big fans.
Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm gonna start panicking.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's okay. We can stand here for a second and we'll be fine.
Nice. Yeah, especially in this room, like with the color cycling puzzles, to be in panic is like
Really,
actual
really
nightmare.
dangerous.
Yeah, because you lose all context of what's about to happen.
And we're good. That's the hardest part of the run.
Nice.
Well done. Wow.
Thank you. And now we just wait for the light to cycle through, because if we try to go through that portal while it's looking at us, it will kill you.
Hey, did something just dart behind you real quick?
Yeah, so the lore of this game says that this realm is alive. We are surrounded by mandicores, which are the big things that kind of look like flowers, but the little ones that are floating around are called mandaleeches. Narratively, those things will latch on to you, lay seeds inside your belly, and then you will do an exploda into a monster. I don't make the rules, and I'm sorry to inform you that we now have Gloom Eye Liquid.
Cool.
I hope you're ready for the wildest smoothie of your life.
I was about to say that's sounds like a different kind of juice.
Yeah. We're just having different kinds of juices and snacks today.
And now we go back to the Nexus, where I'm actually going to take a moment to stop and talk to Monroe. Monroe is the big bad of this game. If you play the main game, there is a twist at some point where you learn, oh, this man that you thought was dead the whole time, he's around still. But here he's just sort of glued to the wall, and we're going to talk to him to upgrade our swarm ability 2 times.
You don't have my strength.
Hopefully the roguelite system will give that to us.
Yes, strength to overcome betrayals, to survive.
The fact that he goes from villain to stuck to wall and stat upgrade.
Yeah, he's just a
It's
stat
incredible.
upgrade now. He's the equivalent of like the fire maiden in Dark Souls.
I was gonna say the doll in Bloodborne.
Yes, and we got exactly the 3 skills we wanted, the 2 green and the 1 blue. I'm going to take our eyeball and, make some science with it. We also need to do one more thing with our egg. I accidentally picked that up for later. Now, we're going into the yellow zone. The yellow zone is pretty chill. I like to gather materials here, but there are a couple parts that get a little bit risky. This is also where the grossest of the imagery is. So if you think this is bad, get excited because they're gonna add more to it.
And if the imagery has been rough so far, maybe some Pepto-Bismol
Yeah.
wouldn't be an awful idea.
We are obviously experiencing all sorts of things. Perhaps even Discount Monstro from Kingdom Hearts. But,
True.
at the end of the day, self-care is the most important thing. And that is the lesson we learned from this game. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta get your mind, your body, and your spirit in line.
I did see early on that somebody in chat mentioned we're just starting out with a womb level, and this DLC is really just a womb DLC
Yeah.
sort of situation.
It's very internal. All right, this is an enemy known as a Latcher. It's a very cool dog.
That's a cool dog.
It is shaped like friend, but it is not a friend. I promise you, don't try to make friends with this dog.
Aww.
I know. Powerful lesson.
Look at those pizzies, though. Look at those little toesies. He looks like he would do like a happy tappy when you gave him treats.
Yeah!
He would do little happy tappies. I love the symbol that the game shows you as you are digging your arm in there. It shows the
Be done.
like human silhouette with the arm wedged in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. The cool thing about this route is that it's 2 small combat segments and you just gotta go back and forth, but there is another one of these eyeball things in here. This one is much less dangerous, but the pathing is a little bit more inconvenient.
I really love that blast sound. It's a really satisfying blast sound.
Yeah, whoever did the Foley and sound work for this game deserves
Incredible.
just all of the kudos, because they knocked it out of the park. I'm gonna use that against them. There's my destination. I'm risking it.
Risk it for the biscuit.
It worked.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go, gamer.
All right. Last room with the eyeball things. But this one is probably the chillest, despite the fact that there's 2.
Oh. The timing on that, apparently the eyeball has comedic timing that you were like, this is the chillest, and then immediately got a laser blast to the kneecaps.
One laser blast is mild for me. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I usually get Baja blasted coming through there.
More drinks.
This is a very, beverage heavy discussion.
Listen, I got hot drinks, I got cold drinks. Which one you wanna hear?
That's a good question. Do you think hot drinks or cold drinks would be more likely to be served down here? Like, do you think that the dangerous milkshake that we're making is like a milkshake or is it a soup?
I think it's more of like a post-workout beverage, right? Like it's gonna be a little chalky. It's gonna have an interesting texture, and it's gonna have a lot of protein in it.
Thank God that is gone.
Admittedly, it would have to be post-workout because I think after drinking it, you're not going to want to exercise for a while.
Oh no.
I think you're gonna drink it and say, clear my schedule.
Stummy hurty. All right, so you might be wondering about the sequence in which we're moving. Me and Garlips have routed this game in a way where we have the items we need before we come to these different maws. On the map, like if you actually look at the map item that I picked up, which is a new addition for the DLC, there's no map for the main game at all. You can see the various places that these items are scattered around the area, and it makes it easier to sort of understand where to go. But we're not really doing that. We're just going straight in.
We're schmoving.
And we have another weird dog. Say hello to this one. This one's invincible.
Oh, invincible dog.
Yes.
Hello, invincible weird dog.
This one is gonna be our bestie while we're here in the red zone.
Red dog. Oh my gosh, it's Clifford.
A big purple dog
Clifford.
in the big red zone?
Yeah.
I love that for us. Don't be rude.
I'm doing everything in my power to make this game wholesome.
Listen, this game is very wholesome. There's a lot of holes.
It is. Yes.
We're using them to teleport around the world. That was ideal, actually. When it comes to the invincible dog, there are 2 things it can do. It can either laser you or pounce. And what you want it to do is
Laser
laser.
is better.
Don't smack me off of this. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, the closest of calls.
my blood pressure is just like spiking every time something like that happens.
Meanwhile, I'm over here in the zone. I'm in my
You
element.
are good.
Now that I'm not lost anymore.
Yeah, that'll do it. You were lost and now you're found.
It's true. And the reason was you.
And the reason is you.
Dang.
This is what y'all expected as commentary over this nightmare, is us just quoting. Like, oh my gosh, is that Hoobastank? Is that the name?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, I never said I wasn't a nightmare person.
No, this is perfect, and you are doing fantastic.
All right,
We're doing
we've got
a little
the speed
panic, but that's
boost.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, I should have not walked through that so I could keep the speed boost.
That's that risk reward. Oh, some more cool dogs there for a second.
Just some friends.
Those are lower to the ground. I think they're corgis.
Yes, dash hounds.
True. Little legs.
All right, where's wave 2? There you are.
Rude for your enemy-seeking scream missiles to go directly behind you instead of the enemy you were fighting.
Well, there was an enemy that spawned right behind me, is why I did that.
Yeah.
All right, our bestie's back. Where are we going? Here? No, not here. Over here. Oh, not over here. This one.
Yes, chat. There are normal plants. There's been like just notice like mugwort is in here. It's like, yep, there's ginger, there's lavender. There's all sorts of horrible things or normal things growing in the horrible underwater intestines. That's how this works. There isn't seaweed though.
For some reason, no, there isn't. Come on, I need you to break the right thing, bestie. This one.
Gotta have some normal things to throw into our milkshake or soup or whatever it is.
I did see some chat indecision about whether or not a milkshake was a soup, and I just want you to know that regardless of which side you voted in that poll, I support you.
The poll did tie, so you're right that there is
Oh my
extreme
gosh.
indecision.
Personally, I think that a vanilla soy latte counts as a type of 3-bean soup.
You know, that is very
So-
true. It is.
Yeah, the use of color in this game and like the brightness and everything is just... It's also really wonderful from an accessibility standpoint of making a game that has so many of the horror trademarks, but is easily understandable and just visually clear. It's just one of the wonderful things about the Chant that I've really, really liked since I saw it the first time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am a big fan of this game's presentation.
Yeah. From an accessibility standpoint, this is probably one of the most approachable and like user-friendly horror games out there. Not only because of the color palette and the ability to see what you're doing, unless you're in this mode, of course, but like the addition of health bars, because that wasn't always in the game. The addition of clear and consistent mechanics on what to use and when. Like, this game doesn't handhold you, but it presents things in a way that is very digestible and user-friendly. Now, I hope you like the cool dog, because we're going to be spending a little bit more time with them. They're using my favorite mechanic, and I hope you can hear what I mean when I
The
say my
sarcasm?
favorite. Yeah. In the original sort of run for the game, in the main experience, there's a segment where you have to like push over lasers, and when you push them over, the boss dies. Now we have to use the invincible enemy to cycle rotating lasers, and it's the only thing that can take it out. And so we have to manage like being at the right distance from the enemy to bait the laser attack, while also like being in the right position for it to actually hit. This fight has the most variability in the entire run. Just because sometimes they'll choose to walk over instead.
Yeah, there's no real cheesing at this point. Or at least not in the passion project that you have put into this game so far.
Yeah.
Just to loop the title back around. You can't really...
And that's the fight.
Get him to hang out, so... Nice job.
Yeah, that was very, very
That was very
smooth.
clean.
Now, of course, we're going to take the heal ability on our grasp, and we're going to head out. At this point, we have everything we need to beat this DLC. But the catch is we have to utilize our objects in a couple specific ways. We still need to go back into the blue area to get the final gemstone.
When you get home, you'll have
Does look like we're missing one on what is not a severed head, that's a mask.
It is a mask on our
your
back. Yeah, we're going back for the purple gemstone. So we're coming back through here. We're gonna... I didn't do the chemistry. I was too busy explaining. I forgot to do the chemistry. We're going to use the item we just picked up, which is a bone fragment, to make mercury using this microwave.
picture.
Just survival horror things.
Okay,
Normative.
I guess that works.
We're also going to prep the thing we need for the final maw, which is going to be this item. So we need to make more of the mercury because we have infinite bone as well.
When we are
Infinite egg, infinite bone,
Infinite eye juice, yes.
infinite eye juice.
And the fun fact is if you mix them incorrectly or you use the wrong item on the wrong part of the alchemical station, it gives you mulch and refuse, which are items that are not usable, but they do take up slots in your inventory, and they can throw
Gross.
you in the run. So for the purple maw, we use the mercury. And this is my favorite fight of this DLC. And you'll see very quickly why. There are a couple very fun-looking friends in here that we're going to meet. I was terrified of these things on my casual playthrough of the main game, but here I'm like, 2 of them!
You're like, oh, babies.
Yeah! And so
So right after
we're just gonna bully these
your
frogs.
least favorite.
Right.
Yeah, these are definitely frogs. This is what frogs look like. Red frog and blue frog. 1 frog, 2 frog, red frog, blue frog.
Hop on pop, please!
I was just about to say that.
Incredible. Wholesome storybook icon.
Excuse you, can you please not? Hello?
I feel like we could probably shoehorn a green eggs and ham reference into here too if we really wanted to.
It's not too late.
No, I'm working on it. I'm workshopping.
All right, now that frogs are done, we are on our way to the final boss of this.
Yes.
You might notice that there is a lot of stuff in that arena. If you are sort of just casually encountering this, everything you need to fight those enemies is in there. The same is true for the final boss. And if you're thinking final boss, this is definitely going to be a singular thing. I want to couch your expectations appropriately. This is a roguelite with wave combat. And so we are going to have a lot more wave combat.
Yeah. Oh, look at this maw has like rainbow veins.
I know.
Oh,
Tag
so
yourself.
pretty.
I'm the rainbow maw.
Overcome your suffering.
I want to be the purple one. I liked that violety purple. That was nice.
That's true. It's a nice color. So the whole reason we had to go into those other areas is to get these gemstones charged up, so that way we can come say hi to Vincent in here. Vincent has been trying to escape for 40 years, but he didn't actually do anything useful to get out. And instead, he got consumed by the gloom and is now summoning lots of friends to this arena. There's gonna be 6 waves of enemies. The 6th wave we don't even need to fight. So at this point, it's just survive. All of the items in this arena will respawn between waves.
Nice.
So
that's very kind.
Everything you need for this fight is here with you.
That's really nice of them.
Yeah. And so, like, the thing about the chant is if you can't beat it, it's literally a skill issue because the devs have given you way more items than you'll ever need to beat the game.
Yeah.
And that's true of all difficulties too. This run is on Neophyte difficulty, which is the easiest mode, but even on Magister, you are never short of what you need for the circumstances.
I love that in a game, again, because I just think that horror is a genre that should be accessible to everybody. So I love seeing games that do that.
All right, wave 3.
We're just going through the rainbow in an interesting order, but it's okay.
We're going in the sequence that I picked up the gemstones.
So could you alter it if you picked up the gemstones in a different order?
Yes.
Neat.
But the ending does not change. So unlike the main game, the DLC has one fixed endpoint. You arrive at your destination regardless of what you do, what sequence you go in, what upgrades you take, how many times you talk to Monroe, whether or not you even talk to Monroe. It all takes you to the same destination, which will be the end of this fight.
Looks like I'm halfway there.
All right, we're halfway through the fight.
Is there any value in picking up the gemstones in the order you did in terms of just this fight in like the order of the waves, or does it really
No.
not matter because everything restocks?
Everything restocks, but also, while the colors do rearrange themselves to a degree, the waves themselves do not. Like, the same thing comes out regardless. So the sequence of battle will always be in this sequence, even if the colors are not necessarily.
It's just the colors that change.
Yeah.
That's still a cool touch. It's kind of fun that everybody ends up with like a little bit of a different situation.
It's customizable to a degree, but it's not like different, you know?
Yeah.
All right, I think blue is next. Oh, purple is next. No, it is blue.
Purple's on the way to blue, so that makes sense. And the heart rate speed of the area that you're in is just getting faster and faster.
Because we're at the heart of the gloom right now. And
it doesn't like that you're doing this.
from a storytelling perspective, this metaphor is really moving and kind of sad, because the man that's taped to the wall is the father of the cult leader and the son-in-law of Monroe. He's someone that wanted to get out to save his family, and so like us disempowering him like this is absolutely something that distresses him. Also, time will be called whenever we fade to black at the end of this wave.
We're almost there.
These enemies, we don't need to fight them. They're invincible. So we're just gonna be invisible and run around.
As you do.
They will die
Love
automatically.
a final fight.
We're coming up on time whenever they fall over. And time.
GG.
GG.
Beautifully done.
Thank you. That's the gloom below. We mentioned that we are underwater. We're about to get evacuated from the bottom of the ocean. TLDR, we did it, gamers. We're free. But we're not the only ones that free. Monroe is also free. And so this DLC lays the groundwork for a potential sequel down the line, which I want to see. Brass Token, if you're watching this, give it to me. I want it.
Yes.
I want it.
More of this. More of this.
More
forever,
of this.
please.
I love this game. I want a sequel. But yeah,
I just love this game. It's so cool. This is such a delight.
it's so unhinged. And the best part here is that Monroe, the man we saw stuck to the wall, is giving the best, like, how do you do, fellow kids here on the boat? It's chef kiss.
Did you feel that? It's like the air got really weird for a second there.
I don't know.
His boy band, like, party city wig situation.
It's so good and so bad at the same time. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just crazy.
But yeah, I've been Big Scared. You can find me on Twitch as Big Scared, or in most places on the internet as either Big Scared or I'm Big Scared with no punctuation or spaces.
Stay in touch.
You'll see me here on Hotfix for Fright Fatale, as I mentioned it earlier, but I'm also
I don't
going
know
to be
how much
on
they
As
told me
Seen on
their
TV
best, but
on the
you-
26th. So you'll get more of me. JPEG.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing off this game. I said it earlier, but I really love the presentation, and it's great that it's so accessible.
We will
It's super
be
cool.
in touch.
Jay, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at JPEG_EXE or on the Bird app as at also JPEG, so ALSO JAYPEG. And I will actually be back doing comms with you for Fright Fatale, so you'll also all see me again then. And I'm super excited about that. so.
Buckle up. The Dream Team's coming back together to guide you through the main game. So if you don't know what's going on, it's fine. You won't know what's going on then either.
Exciting stuff.
Pretty much.
And Passion Project will also be back in just a moment. Don't go away. We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back, everyone, to Passion Project. If you're just joining us, I am not Amber Cyprin. I am Helix, just filling in for tonight. Also, shout out to those of you watching on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to press the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. And go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content. Those of you here, if you missed anything, any of this Passion Project, any of our other Hotfix shows, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. But for now, I am here with Brandino, who will be playing Luigi's Mansion 3DS, which I am super excited for. Take it away.
Yo, what's up? I'm Brandino, and I'm here to play Luigi's Mansion on Nintendo 3DS. This is the game that came out, I believe, 2018. Near the tail end of the 3DS's lifespan. It's very strange because it features some things like Luigi, stuff that would go on to be featured in Luigi's Mansion 3. So they're promoting a Switch game with the 3DS release. It was, I don't know, a very strange moment in time to be a Nintendo fan for sure. I'm joined here by Saria, Luigi's Mansion renowned gamer.
Hello.
Saria is the only person to have done a full run of like the entire Luigi's Mansion series, like the arcade game, all the 3DS games, and 1, 2, and 3. So, shout outs to that.
Yeah.
But So, without further ado, we're going to get started here. I'm going to count us down. It's going to start here when I hit yes. So, in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this is Luigi's Mansion 3DS. Instantly, you'll notice that this is not the original game. It's on the 3DS, which means there's going to be some pretty big changes to the game. Some for the better, but unfortunately, most of them are going to be kind of downgrades that we have to play around. So I'd say the most important change they made in this version of the game was the vacuum. The vacuum in this game sucks, both literally and figuratively. They made it very weak when trying to search objects with it, and also while looking up ghosts, it's very, very difficult to do it fast. With the original game, you just like tap back every 10 HP, repeat that over and over and over again. But in this game, you can kind of do that, but it's a little bit more intricate and not as consistent as the original one. And also the vacuum's power is not Hidden Mansion. So this game also has Hidden Mansion, but we don't speedrun it because unlike LM1, not only is Hidden Mansion the same thing as PAL, which is basically a ROM hack where all the ghosts are not only different, like they're stronger in terms of what ghost type you see, but their health is also multiplied by 1.5, which includes Portrait Ghost and King Boo, so you lose a lot of time. And the vacuum's also not upgraded, so we're playing on the normal mansion.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah, so...
just kidding. So, one thing you're going to notice here, like in this room, we're doing stuff called scare skips, where by pointing the 3DS downwards so that we aim the gyro downwards and going into first person, we can actually skip the animation of Luigi getting scared by a ghost, which allows us to react just a little bit faster. And you did hear me right, we are using gyro. There's going to be quite a bit of gyro in this run. We make use of both gyro and combine it with nice. We combine gyro with the C-Stick because I'm actually playing on new Nintendo 3DS XL, which is, this game came out, like I said, at the tail end of the 3DS's lifespan, so it actually has improvements made for new 3DS XL itself, which is pretty cool. You can play with Circle Pad Pro otherwise, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm willing to bet I can count the amount of people who actually own and use a Circle Pad Pro on my hands, but
yeah.
So nobody uses that.
Not unless you're playing Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah.
On the left, I think Circle Pad Pro is just for like lefty players too, so that's not even going to help you. Okay, another funny change, because we're on 3DS, and again, late in the lifespan, is Amiibo. So prior to the run, I scanned in some Amiibo friends of mine. We got this Mario here, and there's a Boo as well. There are 4 Amiibos that work with this game, but we're only going to use 2 for the run. So we scan in Mario because he changes all of the poison mushrooms into healing mushrooms, which, hitting a poison mushroom in this game shrinks Luigi and makes you unable to perform any actions for about 10 seconds other than call Mario and, like, flicker the flashlight. So you don't really want to have to deal with that.
Yeah. As for the other Amiibo, there's a Boo Amiibo, which is the other Amiibo he said he scanned. It basically will tell you where on the map a Boo goes if you lose it. So not only does that make it easier to back up if you lose a Boo, but there's a Boo that we later on basically is impossible to one-cycle with our current knowledge of the game. And it actually matters which room he goes into because we need to, search for him again because he basically can go between 2 rooms, and it's really important we know which one it does. So that's the main reason why I use the Boo, but also as an easier backup. The other Amiibo basically can revive you from dying, and show you where certain speedy spirits are, which just contain money, and that's not useful for any percent. I'll explain any percent in a second. And then also talking to Toad heals you, but we never want to talk to Toad, and we never need to get healed because this game is not very hard. Even with the more difficult controls in weaker vacuum, there's basically, I don't think I've ever died playing the normal mansion. I don't know about you.
No, but Hidden Mansion is pretty brutal, though. Hidden Mansion is very difficult. I don't even know how to explain it. All the ghosts are way more powerful. They take way more damage to deal with. and they're all changed, so every room is different. And if you're playing on the original PAL version, everything is mirrored, which is just like even worse. Speaking of worse, our boy Chauncey back in the game. So, recently in console, it was found that you can one-cycle Chauncey by re-grabbing him with like within a really tight window while vacuuming him to a really low health, which allows you to like get that last bit of health off of him. And technically, it exists in 3DS. Like, it's been done. Saria, I think, is the only person to have a recorded IL of it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe he's working on somebody, but yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's a very tight window to regrab him. And in order to get a successful one cycle in 3DS, you're gonna have to regrab him probably like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The vac and that you're just at the mercy of the vacuum. And Chauncey is a very difficult boss even without the one cycle to consider, because getting a 2 cycle feels like some kind of hack sometimes. I don't know. It's really hard. The typical strat with Chauncey is that you want to take him down to about 50 health, or as close to 50 as you can on the first cycle, and then finish him off on the second. But ideally on 3DS, I'm just going to take as much health as I possibly can on the first cycle to make the second cycle slightly easier, because it is... I don't even know how to describe how difficult Chauncey, even 2 cycling Chauncey is. It's not fun in this version of the game.
Yeah, like I actually got the record. I had the record in this game for 1 day. That's the only time I've had the record, was for 1 day. And that run didn't even have Chauncey 2 cycle. Something that is very trivial on the original version. So 56 there is a little brutal, but it's still possible.
Yeah. You can see...
As you were saying...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so as you were saying earlier, normally you want to let go of him at about 50 health or above, because as you'll see here, he'll repeat what he did the first cycle. But in this game, you only lose about a few seconds on both games to it. But in this game, you want to get him as low as you can to make the 2 cycle easier. Like, optimally, you let go of him at about at 50, but we just get him to as low as we can. So we try to aim for the low 40s, maybe even high 30s if you're really lucky, but usually it's mid to high 50s, and then you just have to hope. So let's see here. And that's unfortunate. So yeah, that happens all the time.
Okay, even with the 56, getting him down to a 2 is quite a feat. So that's nice at least. But this is an unfortunate reality of Chauncey in this version, is that he breaks off at single digits more often than not. At least for me, I think you need exceptional handling. Like, a really good player can do it, but you have to be so attuned to Luigi's angle and the correct way to pull on the ghost health. That's something to mention, is that the vacuum pulling is very specific in this game, and it is not made any easier by the 3DS's circle pad. Maybe one of the changes that is felt the hardest.
Yeah, so here I guess I can explain the categories. So if you look at Luigi's Mansion, basically everybody plays any percent no out of bounds, but in this game it's just any percent. And the reason being is that they actually really patched out of bounds. So as you can see, that chest right there, normally in the original game, it's up against the wall, but they moved it in this game because that was one of the means you could reach out of bounds. But even if you could clip out of bounds, the game has an anti-cheat where it will clip you back in bounds unless you like try to enter through doors, then you can like clip to the other room, but you won't be out of bounds. So yeah, they really went in on patching out of bounds.
King Boo won't spawn without 40 boos, and Boo lost his key and the Van Gore key as well. They, it's so the company who made this Grezzo is also responsible for OT 3D and Majora's Mask, games where they also made some interesting changes too. So I think this just follows their pattern. Another fun addition that this game has that we're not actually using, but technically you can change the flashlight to the Luigi's Mansion 2 style strobe bulb, which is kind of like a charged flash of the flashlight. It's actually, for this game at least, would be a little bit slower, because with the flashlight we have, we can whip around and flash on ghosts like instantly most of the time. Like, we don't have to wait charging up. So as cool as it is, it's unfortunately not much faster for a speedrun to use.
Yeah, so more about the flashlight. So in Luigi's Mansion 1, if you are honestly, sometimes it feels like you can be pretty close to a ghost, but usually if you're far away from a ghost and you stun them, they'll disappear basically instantly without any chance of locking onto them. But in this game, they actually buffed the flashlight a little bit and made it so that you can be a little further away from a ghost and still get him, which is one of the few buffs they added. Another buff is the ability to hold the B button and walk in sidestep mode. And that's really useful for avoiding getting scared by ghosts, because instead of messing around with the C-stick or D-pad, you can just hold the B button and be looking straight at them. Among possibly having other outlets to make other strats faster.
So something you're going to see in the hallways is that we have to do a posture check as we go. We're trying to prevent ceiling ghosts from dropping on us wherever possible. And I'm angling Luigi's position so that he's never in a space where ghosts can really spawn behind him, because they do love to do that.
Yeah, luckily that's a lot easier in this game because you can just hold the B button and only turn when you're entering a new hallway. Whereas in the original game, you have to constantly be moving the C-stick left and right, unless you have like a really small angle. Then I guess you could also have some weird stuff. But just know that you can use the B button to just prevent the ghost from spawning without having to turn the C-stick.
And now,
all right, so now
we're going for a pretty cool strat here. Let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, we're gonna go to McDonald's and order a 6-piece and hope that we don't get a miscount.
Nice 6-piece. Some buffalo sauce would be great right now.
More food on Passion Project today.
I prefer sweet and sour personally, but I respect it. All right,
Nice.
and he got. Oh yeah, so he got the first part of it. Let's see if he can stay on the ghosts. All right, and he stayed on.
All right, now
All
let's see if we can get ER. So for those familiar with Luigi's Mansion, these ghosts have a I don't know what the chance is, but they have a chance to spawn their heart early on in this encounter, or they decide to spawn it 10 seconds later. We got the 10 seconds later variant.
Yeah, it's likely to be 50-50, but we haven't actually like gone into any of the game's code, so we're not 100% sure. But it feels 50-50 to most people, at least in my opinion. I feel like it's around 50-50. So now, one thing that actually you might notice if you've ever speedrun or watched speedruns of Luigi's Mansion 1 is that every time you get a key, usually you can use a glitch to disable the minimap. That glitch has been soft patched in this game because we don't have a way of soft resetting. But even if you could, it probably wouldn't work anyway because they probably would have patched it. Another thing that unfortunately doesn't work is the early poster, where you vacuum the poster on the other side of this wall while you're waiting for the ghost to spawn. We can't really do that either, so we have to lose time doing it. And another really important thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the language. So this game, he's playing in Japanese just because the text is faster. In the original game, there was some other small differences that made Japanese overall better. But for this game, because it was basically released internationally at the same time, it's all the same text speed.
Yeah.
It's just
Japanese,
text, that's it.
Japanese saves a good bit of time, just with less text boxes in general, which is the classic. And here, we're gonna release some booze into the mansion because there wasn't enough RNG to contend with.
Yeah, so this game actually is pretty lenient with RNG until you have to deal with these guys. So these are basically the main RNG aspect of the game, and the way they work is every room in the mansion, well, actually not every room, but 35 rooms in the mansion have a boo in them. And in order to complete the game, like he said earlier, King Boo requires you to have 40 of them. So the objective of this is going to be to get 35 boos. We'll get, or not 35, but 25 boos from clearing rooms, and then get the other 15 from boo losses later. And that means that we have to route in which boos are the fastest to get and which ones aren't. So we might have to end up clearing an optional room that would otherwise not have to be cleared, but it's better than getting a really high health boo, which we'll be looking at later on.
Here you're seeing some text mashing, which is some stuff we gotta do in this game. Optimally, on a new 3DS XL, you could be mashing with 5 total buttons: A, X, Y, ZL, and ZR. I only mash with AXY. I kind of like fat finger it a little bit because I get like AXY under my thumb and I just sit there and kind of jam it. Or I like put the 3DS down on the desk and mash 2 fingers with like 1 finger on 1 button and 1 finger on 2 buttons. Because that's what you gotta do. Let's see, did we get him? Nice. Okay, I don't like having him under the tablecloth there, but I guess at least it was the first try boo. Every boo has a chance of trolling you and either sending out a bomb or like a little boo ball. And we did a practice run today. Oops, I saved. That's okay. We did a practice run before this today, and I got trolled so many times. Surely that was getting all the bad RNG out.
Yeah, so to explain what he's doing with his boos, it looks like they're just staying in place, like for no reason, but if you basically stop damaging a boo and then start damaging it again, it'll be locked in place for 10 health. And that's very easy to achieve by holding the L and the R button and then letting go and repressing the R button, because that will basically seamlessly switch between vacuuming air and blowing it out, and that is a very good way of getting the boo to stay in place. But if you have a bad angle or a bad approach to the boo, it will make a cackle sound, which is basically every time you hear it laugh. And every time it does that, that means that you stopped and then started dealing damage again, which not only loses time, but if it cackles 15 total times, which if you remove the first one that you do when you lock onto it initially, it's 14 times you can lock it in place for 150 health total. It will leave the room if it uses all 15 of those. And for the earlier boos, you lose in a couple frames here and there to it, no big deal. But later on, when it has 100 to 150 health, if you get too many of those, the boo will just leave the room, and that can lose you way more time than the few frames you might be losing here.
Yeah, and I mean, their behavior is super random sometimes too, because sometimes they can just decide to bonk in Luigi and leave, or they have a whole cackling mechanic where you can hear them cackle multiple times, and that means they're trying to get away. And in this game, at least, like, hearing a multiple cackle boo is like a death sentence. Like, they're pretty much going to escape when they start doing that. It's rough, but it, again, like Saria said, it only really starts to matter towards some of those larger health boos towards the late game. But it could be what makes this game difficult at a high level is dealing with the massive swings in RNG that boos could potentially hold, because they could go in lots of rooms and do lots of things, and you like losing a boo, like having it leave a room is not the end of the world, because you can always get it back in the room if it decides to behave correctly, but that's a big if.
Yeah. So the vacuum in this game is, on top of being weaker, it's actually a little narrower, which means it's actually a little harder to lock onto boos, because also you have to deal with the 3DS's awful control scheme that makes it incredibly hard to aim. I'm gonna be honest, the C-stick in this game, the Circle Pad Pro or whatever it's called, is really it's bad. It's not. It doesn't help very much, and it at times feels really stiff. So I actually prefer to use gyro when possible, but really a mixture of gyro and the C-stick is what you want to go for. Yeah.
C-stick is really nice in the hallways and stuff. Places where you can be a little bit less precise but have general movements you want to make. Alright. You saw this before, but these ghosts try to choke Luigi whenever they get close to him. But there's kind of a benefit to it. So if we kind of get them to strategically grab Luigi, and then we can throw them off in directions that might be helpful to hit more than one at a time. You'll see that right here. So I'm going to wait for two to spawn, let this guy grab me, and I'm going to shake him off, and then got him.
Yeah. So he's going to be coming up after he clears this room on the, honestly, the main glitch of the run. So in this game, there are, when you spawn a boo, their text box is displayed on screen. Like where they say their name, and if you vacuum a cutscene item like a medallion or a gem or a Mario item in that small window, it will be added, like the game will think you collected it, but you won't watch the cutscene. Now all the items have different effects. So with Mario items, they appear in your inventory, but when you go give them to Clairvoya, it will not, like, she won't count it, and if you left the room already, your save file is soft locked and you'll have to reset. With gems, it doesn't do anything whatsoever, and then with Mario items, it just lets you skip the text. And he's being really careful here not to get the medallion.
There we go. You do not want to grab that medal, especially for fire. Specifically, fire is a really long cutscene.
Yeah, so it's like, honestly, if you add them all up, it's a little over a minute of time save throughout the whole run.
And that's a new skip too. We didn't have that about, let's say, about a year and a half ago. This game got a lot of activity within like the last few years, which has seemed like a total transformation in a short amount of time, which I think is cool. the thing about running in with a lot of 3DS games is that like sometimes there is that thing where it's like they get a little popularity for a bit and then maybe you don't have somebody running it for quite a while because they can be difficult to run for a number of reasons. So it's always cool when you see them get activity and like start to really get optimized.
Yeah. So one thing I'll mention about that butler there is in the original game, that butler is on a global cycle, which means that no matter where you are in the mansion, he will be moving. But in that game, there's a strat where you save and quit and he gets reset, so he's always in the same spot. In this game, it is not universal, which means he will, assuming that you don't do anything crazy while going to him, like, you know, when you're right next to him, he will always be right there at that corner and you can light his candles, which is really nice. It removes any luck to do with him. So now that he's lit his candles, he's actually walking very slowly to his room. And while he's walking, Brandino will take that opportunity to clear this room. And he can do this without basically losing any time. And remember earlier, I said you need 40 boos to access King Boo.
Open the door, open the door. Okay.
This is, clearing that room is completely optional. You can beat the game completely fine without it. But the boo is way quicker than getting a different boo from a different room because clearing the room basically takes no time and the boo has little health. Another really important thing we have to keep track of is the fact that we need 20 boos before we reach Boolossus. And that boo is actually important because we finished with exactly 20 boos going to Boolossus, which means we need all these boos if we want to be able to do the route.
That's okay. Worst case scenario, he flies forward.
So yeah, one thing you saw there is because we can't do the map glitch and because this game is a little weird, boos will actually have a brief moment to be able to fly around the room after you grab a key in which you can do absolutely nothing. And that can end your run actually if you do it at a really bad time with a really bad boo. So usually, especially in a marathon setting like this, I assume that Brandino will just grab the key as soon as he can to prevent that from that risk.
Yeah, you really don't want these things, especially like we were talking about the medals earlier. Like if you miss an element tech skip or better yet, you get it, like that thing is on the ground and ready to trigger the cutscene at any time. Like you got to be careful.
Yeah. Another thing that's a big change between this game and LM1 is they made it so that the game actually stops completely, like not doesn't freeze. It kind of does. Like everything around Luigi just completely stops, and the effects of that are if you in LM1 if you grab the medallion while a boo was flying around the room and you were getting text boxes, the boo would almost certainly leave. But in this game, he will be frozen in place, which means if you mess up the text skip with the element, it usually is just like you miss text skip time save, but you don't lose that much time versus not going for it. But
oh wait, go ahead.
I was gonna say something else, but you can go ahead.
Oh wait. Okay, sweet. Okay, so funny thing about Melody here, or Medley, is that Melody. She can do one of two songs, and we just got the slightly faster one because it's the first option in the menu. The other one's a Mario 3 song, and you have to scroll down to select it.
Yeah, and also the Mario Bros. 1 underwater theme actually gives you, I believe it's one less text box, so it also saves time like that, which, you know, it's nice that you don't have to scroll, you can just mash, and you also save time from less text boxes. So another side effect of the game freezing is after you suck up a boo, you cannot suck up like a tablecloth to get text skip. So the only way to get any text skips in this game is to catch two boos at the same time. There's only one spot in this run that could be realistically done, but even then, that is incredibly hard. And if you miss it, your run is almost certainly dead, and it only saves a few seconds. And when you add that all up, you just get a very, very, very not worth it strat in any RTA setting. But it is possible.
That the game not freezing really does change a lot too about this game in general. Like one thing you can do in the other game is like you can skip some extra text boxes with Chauncey by like during an animation where he like spawns, you can control Luigi and still pick up a ball and hit him so that you skip extra text, but we can't move during cutscenes, so we can't do that.
Yeah, so
it affects so many things.
So yeah, there was a trick way earlier in the run that I neglected to mention in Nursery. In the original game, there's a small oversight with how they programmed the area you have to stand to trigger the cutscene, and they didn't make it extend fully to where you can vacuum the rocking horse. In this game, I believe they fixed it by making the trigger a little bit larger. But they also it was probably not actually that. I'm just making a guess here while he does the next text skip. Let's see if he gets it. Did you get it?
Yeah, we got it.
Nice job.
So if you guys check
he's
out,
2 for 2.
if you guys check out the bottom screen right now, you'll see I have the water element, but we never actually triggered the cutscene. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you grab it and the game just lets you pick up elements from there. And then when you enter in chapters later, it still counts as being there. It's funny that it only works for those.
Yeah, like everything else has some weird reason they don't work, but with this, and honestly, I think it's a very, very, very good thing that this game has something that makes it special from the original game, because that trick is not in any way, shape, or form present in LM1. So it's an
Intentional
exclusive to
damage
this
here.
game. Yeah, so he's gonna basically the way Spooky works is he needs to like charge you 3 times, but if you shake him off, it like counts for some reason. I'm not sure how they made it work like that, but it basically just spawns Mr. Bones a little bit faster.
And it also, like, if you can shake him off in a spot where it takes him a second to walk back to his doghouse, and then you can suck up Mr. Bones in that time, so that he'll be in position to grab the bone and be vulnerable, like, almost immediately afterwards. Also, fun fact, one time I soft locked here because I went into this first-person Game Boy horror mode. After I was able to suck up the dog there, I did that and scanned the thing, but I had never let the cutscene play. Oh, yes! You don't always get this.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool double there. So as you're saying, if you scan that mouse hole right after you suck up Spooky, the game will just soft lock. But that's pretty hard, and it doesn't really save any time. So here we're talking about Bogmire. So in this game, Bogmire 1 cycle is, I wouldn't say easy, but it's not as hard as it used to be before. Basically, a Bogmire 2 cycle was really, really good.
So 1 cycle is still not really something you can expect too much out of runs, though, because it's this weird little thing. It's also like Chauncey, where you have to re-grab him as he's pulling you around, and you have a very small window to grab him, although it seems larger than Chauncey's window for whatever reason. That being said, you can deal massive damage on a single cycle. Like, I've gotten him all the way down to 30 or below on a single cycle before.
So while he does this, to elaborate a little bit, so the current hypothesis is that with Chauncey, you need to be up against the wall of the crib to get the regrab to work, but with Bogmire, you can do it anywhere on the arena. But another really big advantage to doing a regrab is that the shadow clones that you see that Bogmire is trying to drag Luigi into, they will completely disappear. That was incredibly good.
That was really good, yeah. Okay, he's back here.
So yeah, these shadow clones will disappear if you re-grab him, and he's doing that to get rid of the shadow clone on purpose, and hopefully he gets a 2 cycle.
Oh,
nice. That's not very easy without regrabs.
No, and another thing to talk about is that some ghosts pull really hard in such a way that normally when you're pulling a ghost's health, you kind of want to go neutral with the stick repeatedly to pump the health. But for ghosts like that, you kind of can't go full neutral while being pulled, because you really risk Luigi breaking off. Because the strong pull ghosts, I don't know, they just don't let you do that. You have to really stay within the bounds of kind of like a walking angle at best. It's hard.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And of course the ghosts also move around, and they have very weird moving angles, and it's all a bit random, so you're really at the mercy of the game. The trick that Zircon, the current world record holder for this game, told me, and that I follow a lot, is that you can kind of tell which way you need to be pulling on the ghost health by which way Luigi's the mouth of the vacuum is facing at any time. That really clues you in the best.
Yeah, so just know that compared to Luigi's Mansion 1, suck-ups are not only way harder, but way more intricate, and
and again, it's all being done on a circle pad, which is very different from a GameCube analog stick. And also worth mentioning is that, this game also had analog triggers back in the day, and we just have digital triggers. So there's some interesting stuff, you kind of can't hold an element out very little and let it drop. It's so different.
Yeah.
And also, this end area cutscene is a little bit longer in 3DS. They don't let you just drop all the portraits and go. You got to watch everything tally, and the in-game time is so messed up. It'll say 10, and we've been playing for what is it, about probably 30-ish minutes now.
So just about half an hour.
Yeah, that's just based on my my splits knowledge. But yeah, but the in-game time says 10, and it's 10 what? what is this? This is such a not good measure of our time.
Yeah,
10
so
units of 3 minutes. It's very simple.
Of course. Yeah,
so
you
for some reason,
Yeah, go ahead.
so for some reason the game displays in-game time on an area-by-area basis. So I don't know why they don't just do it your cumulative total in-game time, but after each area, the in-game time is how long you spent in that area, and I don't know why they did that, and I don't
Luigi's
know what
Mansion-
does and doesn't contribute to the in-game timer.
Oh, that's so weird.
Luigi's
It
Mansion
really
2
is.
also has an in-game timer on every IL, but you can't see it. But it is taken into your final rank calculation at the end of the level, and they will track your golds. So it's like, why can't I see the timer?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
So one really small change that you probably would never ever notice unless you played the game a lot or you speedrun it is when you fall from great heights in this game, Luigi will, or in the original game, Luigi might do an animation where he just stumbles and you lose some time, but in this game, they completely removed it. So he will, like he right there, as you saw, he fell down the well and he didn't stumble at all. But in LM1, unless you did some very precise and weird movements, that would always stumble, and it's just a really small thing.
Yeah, and also in LM1, you can, that ladder, you can like be spraying water to fall over, but you can't do that in this version. But later on, there's a ladder on the roof that you can be spraying an element to fall over instead of like taking the ladder back down. This game is just all over the place with what works and what doesn't work and what's changed. This is our boy Biff, but we're really not going to talk to him in this run. We actually just need to grab the key and run.
Yeah, so that key is normally optional, but it saves a lot of time later, and hit him for good luck there.
Yep. You know, just in case.
So right there's a strat where you can turn around and shoot a water ball through the floor, and it will put out this door basically instantly. But in this game, they made it so that after you spray water on a door that's on fire, it goes out basically instantly, which means it doesn't really save that much time unless you set it up and hit it first try. But it is worth mentioning that it is possible, but it's just the game is different.
You want to
So
try
coming
to stay on the table here?
Yeah, so he's coming up on probably, I'd say, the hardest trick in the run for me personally. This is the ice element skip. It is the least costly one, I believe, but it's also the hardest one. So let's see if he can get it. Did you?
We got it. So now we just need to avoid touching the ice element. Okay, yeah, we skipped all 3 element techs. That's hard to get all 3 in a run because you're very much at the mercy of where the boo spawns. We actually got the boo spawning in his worst spot, but we made it work, which is awesome.
Yeah, luckily, fire and water aren't that hard, but ice is because the room is so small and has so much in it, and the boo spawn can be mean.
The tablecloths, hearts bouncing around, so much can get in your way. All right, so we have 2 very frustrating ghosts, one more so than the other. We're starting with Petunia here, although there is a cool little thing you're going to see here. So she's a strong coal ghost, can be really hard to establish a good connection on, but if you let go and spray ice at her, it resets the cycle and stops her from disappearing, which allows you a little more leeway. Not a strat you can do 100% because the pearls that the ghosts drop are related to how much damage you can do in a single turn, and the most expensive and biggest pearls require you to do 90 damage in one go on the ghost. So you can't do that in 100% because if you break off, you can't get the big pearl. And okay.
So this is just a 3DS fail.
Yeah, this is. I also got a little messed up there. These things love to nudge Luigi, and he's like, "Whoa!" And it's just like, okay, chill.
Yeah, so for some godforsaken reason, they made it so that running into these yarn balls makes Luigi stumble like that.
Sometimes shooting them just makes him stumble for reasons I don't understand.
Yeah, if you get some really weird stuff happening, that can happen. So another change that you're never gonna notice casually is in LM1, if you suck up a ghost and collect none of their pearls, and then you go to another certain portrait ghost, it depends. The only ones I can think of immediately at the top of my head is Neville and Lydia. If you get no Neville pearls and then you go fight Lydia, she'll only drop 4 small pearls and nothing else. I don't know if it's a glitch or if that's how they made it to punish you for messing up, but that does not apply in this game. So in Luigi's Mansion 1, we do Petunia first, that way there's less pearls on Nana. But in this game, because pearls don't work like that, it doesn't really matter which one you do first. Although doing petunia first means if you lose this boo to the left, it will be able to go left again and you can get it. So it's really pick your poison, get the harder room out of the way first, or have the safer. And that boo is really hard. So that's really
that is like
cycle.
very like that is the best way to talk about the way that boos can be really frustrating. Like he's in place, everything seems fine, and then he ran away at the last second, almost cost everything. Because when they leave, you got to chase them down and watch animations of them taunting you. It's just not fun.
It really is not a fun experience. Speaking of not fun experiences, this room I don't think is a very fun experience for me.
No, this room can be really rough.
So, one adverse side effect of having the vacuum be weaker is that Shy Guy masks take a little bit longer to come off. And the way you do this room optimally is you suck off the mask and then you get double. But if the mask takes too long to come off, you might get punched like there. Like that was a little because the mask took so long to come off, he didn't have enough time to get close to the get close enough to the ghost when they're close enough together to get the double. So that's just the vacuum being the vacuum and not being fun to deal with. So yeah, he's doing a little bit of a safer strat here where he burns them. That will just give him more time to vacuum the mask off and get a double like that.
Yeah, because like we said, it's harder to rely on getting the mask consistently. You really do want to keep them in place.
You really do want to do that. So he's gonna burn that guy to death, and then
this guy got stuck on the candle. Oh no! Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to do singles. That's okay.
So yeah, one example, like I guess it was a little hard to see there, but if you played LM1 a lot or you run it, you would know that double would have been either impossible or stupid hard. But in this game, he probably could have done it pretty easily, but he wanted to be a little safe and not, possibly bonk or mess up. But if you went out of your way to approach that at a very, very tight angle, you maybe could have gotten it a lot easier than LM1. But yeah, so coming up here on the moon shot. So if you play this game, you'll know how stupid this is because you think you're aiming right at the moon and then you're aiming really far right or left. There is a visual cue we use, but the sensitivity of the Circle Pad Pro and the D-pad and the motion controls, they suck in my opinion.
They nice. That's hard. Dead center.
But, yeah, he hit it. He hit bullseye there. Another really small thing they changed in this game that can be really off-putting if you played LM1 a lot is you can actually aim up and down with the projectile, and that means that you can actually aim above the moon if you don't make sure to aim all the way down. So I hold the D-pad down to make sure it's aiming as low as possible there.
Yeah, I've tried to come up with like some consistent strats to like adjust your angle there, but it's hard to, and I don't know, it's not as easy as you think to like really be able to tell where it's going to go based on your facing angle. It's something you just got to keep doing. Sometimes I feel like I get it, and sometimes I don't.
It just sucks. Even in LM1, it's not very fun, but in this game, it's just worse by the controls. So
right, now we got a boo waiting in here for us, and then we're going to head downstairs. Hopefully this guy's nice. Sometimes he's not.
Yeah, so another change that you wouldn't know unless you played LM1 a lot or speedrunning is that when you first enter a lit room from a dark room that has a boo in it, the boo radar will be, for a very brief period of time, accurate, and then it won't react to anything for a few seconds. So that means that when you enter a room, you basically have to guess where the boo might be based on the initial reading when you enter. In this game, they fixed that, which means that as soon as you enter a lit room, even if it's from a dark room, the boo radar becomes instantly accurate and you can read it perfectly, which is honestly a really nice change that's extremely subtle, but I'm glad they did it.
Another change you might notice is the lighting. I think the entire lighting of the mansion is being redone. Darker rooms are kind of less dark, but a little more stylistically dark, if you know what I mean. Which I kind of like. Depends, because I feel like the other game, like the dark gets so dark at some points. Maybe
especially
that's
the PAL version. The PAL version, they just made the whole game
like really dark.
Yeah, I prefer it honestly. It makes the game a little bit more eerie. Anyway, so this is the projection room. This is like another gimmick room, like the mirror room, where the ghosts are supposed to be invisible unless you look at the back. But one thing I haven't mentioned is that, with the exception of boos, every single ghost in this game has a fixed spawn position when you first spawn them. But after you despawn them, whether it be because they broke off your vacuum, you shine the flashlight on them, or they just naturally despawn if you leave them alone for long enough, then they will respawn somewhere randomly. But assuming that he doesn't lose them, unfortunately he did there. So now the game spawns some completely random and he's going to react to it. Okay, well that was pretty decent. He maybe could have double there, but it's really hard to see them.
Yeah, you
because
can't
the
tell where
back-
they are because you have like no depth perception when the projector's down.
Yeah,
What
that's
you got? Are you in here? Nice.
yeah. So that's a good boo. So yeah, like we said earlier, with Mario items, you can skip the cutscene and have them appear in your inventory by doing the same thing you do with the medallions, but Clairvoya will not see it when you try to give it to her, so it's really bad if you don't pick it up and watch the cutscene. I think Brandino lost the race because he didn't know that, and
Yeah,
he tried to
I
do
got
it,
I
and
got
he-
Mario's glove in this room, no less, and then went to Clairvoya later, and I was like, oh, it's just the glove's not real. It was a fake
No,
glove the
it's-
whole time.
Yeah. So now we're coming up to the Area 1 hallway.
Yeah, we were
And-
here way earlier in the game, and Boo's actually spawned here way earlier. But there's one ghost we can't get in here until Area 3, so we wait until way later in Area 3 to go do it. Oh, behind the desk? Looks like it.
in the chair.
No, he's in the ship.
So
Or no.
I-
Where is he? Is he in the... No. Sometimes they do this. Okay, yeah, he's back
Yeah,
in the
but
chair. Sometimes
he
they
switched.
troll you by going into the spot that they already weren't. It's just awesome.
So one thing that you might have noticed that we did not do was save and quit from the projection room. So in Luigi's Mansion 1, you can save and quit very quickly by saving the game and then resetting. But in this game, we don't have the luxury of soft resetting, which means we need to pause and quit, which is a little slower. But another really detrimental thing about saving quitting is that amiibos become undone. So if we save and quit here, then the Boo amiibo and the Mario amiibo that we used before the run started would be gone, and we'd have to play with poison mushrooms and not knowing where boos are when we lose them, which is not good. So we don't really save and quit until the very end of the game, which we will do one right before the end. And at that point, it doesn't really matter because the only poison mushroom spawns are pretty easy to deal with. And these guys are RNG, by the way, so...
And Luigi needs to cheat at a game he's playing with children. Because
unfortunately,
how
we
else
have
are we
to
going to win?
Yeah.
All right, and now, so everybody who's familiar with GameCube would know that you can do a double suck up on these guys, but it's much harder in 3DS because the less powerful vacuum means that you can't drag their vehicles away from them as easily, so you can't really like line up the double the best possible way. Double is still possible, but it's really, really tricky, and again, not really a strat that is very used right now, or even honestly, I don't think we have well thought out setups. Just because the vacuum is so much harder to work with.
The vacuum is very weak, and even if you could get around that, the sucking them both of them at the same time would be incredibly difficult, and you'd probably break off most of the time. So it's another thing that, ILs, you can maybe use it, but outside of ILs, you're probably not going to get anywhere with that strat.
Oh, and yeah, you know what? Forgot to mention that. So another cool feature of this game is that they added they updated the gallery so that you can rebattle every portrait ghost in a timed IL. All 23 of them, including the bosses and King Boo and stuff, which I think is a really awesome change and makes for a lot of fun and is a cool practice tool by itself. Because I spent a lot of time ILing when I was trying to get used to the vacuuming. Also, that was a good Boo suck up. Sometimes the Twins Boo really likes to dash away.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only the portrait ghost, and it's honestly kind of annoying they didn't add a reset function. You have to quit out and go back in every time.
Oh, it's in the this picture always gets me.
Yeah, that's a brutal read. So yeah, this is basically just Boo wrangling, and then after he gets all these Boos, he's gonna mirror warp, and there's gonna be a minute and a half of straight text mashing. So this whole run we've been collecting Mario items. We collected the hat in the laundry room, the letter in the courtyard, the star in the observatory, the glove in the projection room, and just now the shoe in the twins room. And the reason why we got all those is because we need to show them to Clairvoya, who will then give us a key that will lead us to Safari Room, and the Safari Room leads us to Boolossus. But also, she has a Boo that we really want to get as well. So while playing casually, usually you pick up the Mario item, go visit her, and she'd give you some information. But because it's slow in the speedrun, we get all 5 items, and then we give all of them to her at once, which means we have to sit there for a long time.
Yeah, because a normal player would do this kind of thing scattered throughout the run as you pick up Mario items. But us speedrunners do this awesome thing where we do it all at once. So I'm gonna just to save on my finger strength here, to mash efficiently here. Oh, looks like somebody made food downstairs, and the fire alarm is now going off. I'm gonna beat my mic.
All right. Well, while he does that, I guess I can explain something else that you might notice as a casual player, but you probably brush it off. So in this game, every boo text, like the text box the boo gives you after you suck them up, is completely RNG. Earlier on, they can vary by one text box at most, and it's basically nothing. But later on, you can start losing several seconds to each boo that gives you really bad luck because they can vary by several text boxes, and that it sucks. But luckily, it's not that many boos. It's only the last 10 boos that we get.
So, something silly here is that if you talk to Clairvoya at slightly the wrong angle, when you try to mash again for the next encounter, Luigi will first have to like jostle the table in front of her, which loses like a second every time you do it. And you talk to her like 5 times. That's like 5 seconds. We can't do that.
Yeah, you gotta readjust, man.
So, Clairvoya also has a very unique suck up. Okay, let me see. I think we're on number 4. Yes. Okay, she says. Yep. Okay, this is the last one here. My fingies start to hurt after a while.
Yeah, this is not fun. Like, imagine mashing it as fast as you can on a 3DS for a minute.
Yeah, it's on the table, and I'm like just like AXY as fast as I can. Okay, wait.
All right, he's almost done.
Okay, yeah. So there's an interesting suck up for Clairvoya. We're actually going to be spinning the C stick while we do this.
Yeah, so Clairvoya she basically is willingly entering her painting. So if you try to go to neutral, it doesn't really do anything because she's already not really resisting. So instead, we have to basically mess with the C stick to make her take more damage. She basically go push towards where she's trying to go, which is a little bit different than normal. So we just spin a C stick, and then here's the boo and the key. Now, one really important thing is don't forget the ice.
Yeah, do not forget ice.
So the requirement for clearing the Safari Room is ice because there's 3 ghosts in there called Blue Blazes, and they require ice to be sprayed on them for them to become vulnerable. We actually saw that earlier in the tea room and in the kitchen, although we didn't really talk about it because it's just basically the normal ghost, and which means we need to get ice, but the game doesn't really give us ice directly, so we have to go a little bit out of our way to get it. Another small time save that has to deal with those ghosts is normally you have to spray them with an element before they become vulnerable to the flashlight, but if you're spraying them as they spawn, which you can very simply do by holding the element on them, because one really weird thing about this game is that you can't be looking at a ghost when it spawns, but if you're holding an element out, you actually can, and they'll spawn right in front of you. It's really, really weird, but that is how it is. So you'll see him not looking at a ghost to spawn it, or in this room, he'll be looking at the ghost to spray it instantly. And by doing that, you'll skip having to wait a little bit for an animation.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna go show all that in practice here, but yeah, the big guys are in this room. This is a fun. I like the strats here. This is a cool room. Oh, so and I actually froze him.
Yeah, so that he has to normally if you don't get the skip like that, that's a good demonstration of what happens if you don't get it. And then here, there he got it, so he didn't have to wait like he did last time. So those deer heads back there, actually, yet another difference you likely wouldn't notice unless you play the original a lot or speedrun it, is normally you only have to activate the middle deer head in LM1, but in this game they made it so you have to activate all 3 at once, which is not really a big deal, but it is worth mentioning.
That's too
also
much potassium for me.
This is a brutal, because you have to deal with all these high health ghosts at once with the banana peels.
Yep, okay, yeah, we wanted to get a double here, but it didn't work out. That's okay. We still got one more guy left. And then we're actually heading into the Area 3 boss soon.
Yeah, so Bulasis, I'm gonna be honest, he might be the worst part of the speedrun. In LM1,
he's really difficult to deal with. 3DS controls, gyros, some issues, and in general, he's just a tough boss.
So, yeah, in LM1, he's already... I wouldn't say he's very hard, but you can mess him up even if you're a good runner. I think most runners will agree that Bulasis is still a major choke point of the run. But in this game, it's significantly worse. One of the reasons that you wouldn't really expect is actually the lack of notches. in LM1 you can actually face just directly to the right if you want to, but in this game you have to adjust to be facing to the right, and with the C stick and the D-pad being as awful as they are, that is incredibly difficult. And not only do you need that, but because you can use a gyro to move up and down, if you're not holding your 3DS perfectly still, you can fluctuate your facing angle a little bit, which also means you can aim too high or too low, which also is more error. And even if all that goes well, you still have to deal with the awful 3DS controls while you're getting the rest of them, and it's a nightmare. Also, these text boxes right here are slower than normal, and in the original game, they're actually faster than normal, so I think they try to slow them down, but they slow them down too much. Now they're slower than normal.
Yeah, it's really weird. All right, so
As a Super Monkey Ball runner, I know how important the GameCube notches are.
oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god, dude, they were a blessing in this. Like casuals do not realize just how nice they are.
No, I didn't like when I started running N64 games. It was the same thing. I was like, wow, these notches are great because I can hold forward, and I know that I am holding forward, like as forward as it gets.
Yeah. So this blue loss, the strat we do involves grabbing ice and then popping him. But this ice, where it moves around, is completely luck based. We don't have any way of manipulating it. Which means if it really wants to be mean, it can go all the way out of the boundaries of the arena. But here he got really lucky and it spawned right next to the statue.
We want to get him to pop himself on the statue.
Yeah. So here he's basically going to back up so the boos chase him and they clump up, and then he's going to shoot one big ice ball and try to hit as many as he can at once. And okay, that's not too bad if you did.
Yeah,
back up.
they're getting away though, so we're probably not finishing. Okay, this is still not a bad number to have at the end, so we can make this work.
Yeah. So now the strat is you have to have the boos charge you. Actually, yeah. And once they charge you, you can spray them with ice. And then you rinse and repeat for the remaining boos. The way they charge you is by simply facing away from them, and they'll just charge you, and you just repeat that. That is actually... This fight is dreadful if you don't know how to deal with these last guys.
And they still sometimes just do this.
Yeah, because the way that... This actually is another thing that you probably won't know if you don't play the game casually, is the game really likes to use Luigi's feet to know where he's facing. So even if Luigi himself is like, his head and his body's facing away from them, if his feet aren't, it's not going to work.
What? He just froze. Okay.
Yeah, that was lucky. All right, if you can get one more.
Oh,
all right.
Come on.
Ooh.
Yeah, they play games.
All right. So now there's one boo left. He won't reform, so we can just keep trying this. And he's so close.
This part is really, like, I come in. Oh no, come on, get up. Oh.
All right, so that was lucky. All right, so there you go. So that's boo loss. I mean, that was pretty rough, but you know what? Honestly, that probably would have gone a lot worse if you didn't clutch some of those boos.
Yeah, it's just not much you can do. You're both at kind of the mercy of what the boos do, and in the moment it can be difficult to react.
Yeah, it's like you can get really flustered and be like, oh, I'm not gonna make this work. So I'm gonna take this time to explain a really small thing that you might see him do. So in LM1, something that you probably only know from speedrunning is if you press the L button or shoot an element out as you're going from a dark room, as a lit room for... Alright, let me rephrase this. When you go from a lit room to a dark room, Luigi does this animation where he stops moving and pulls out the vacuum. But if you use an element as he's doing that, like pressing the L button, he will cancel that animation, and those are called flashlight skips. And you can also do it if you hold L slightly and then press it in all the way, you'll cancel pulling it out in a lit room. In this game, the only way you can do these is by basically holding L and pressing A. You can't just press the L button like the original. You have to shoot out a fireball, which uses more element.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Shooting like a fireball or like an ice ball or a water ball on the original game is like you have to press down the analog trigger all the way to do that.
So yeah, you have to hold L slightly down, so you're spraying element a little bit, and then you click it all the way in.
Yeah.
But in this game, you hold L and press A, which is easier.
Yeah, which is easier because this game does not have analog triggers, and again, it's kind of weird when to think about, but you went from completely analog control to digital control in this game.
Yeah, and it makes the already scuffed controls even more scuffed. Like 14 minutes, I don't think, like, that's just ridiculous.
Okay.
They really botched the in-game time. All right, so area 4 is, I don't think anybody would disagree that this is the hardest room in the game.
There's
area in the
so
game.
much that can go wrong in a given area 4 that could just absolutely, 1, tank your run, or 2, just not be too fun to deal with. And it's mostly related to the boos. The boos are very powerful here. Some of the later boss ghosts, like the Clockwork Soldiers, have a lot of intricacies and can be really difficult. And then, you end it all off on King Boo, who is it's not like the hardest boss ever, but it's a very difficult boss to do when you're on pace and trying to move quickly.
Yeah, fun thing about King Boo. So in LM1, King Boo one cycle is arguably the hardest boss to one cycle, but in this game, I'm almost certain to say he's the easiest to one cycle. Bogmire is pretty hard. King Chauncey is ridiculously hard, and Boolossus is just really dumb. But with King Boo, it's pretty easy if you practice it a lot, although it still can be a little risky and easy to mess up. So you might not go for it.
I'm holding B to sidestep here just so I can hug the wall easier, but also this is going to be good when the lights go out, because this positions us to immediately spawn with our flashlight facing ghosts that spawn, and they will not spawn and scare Luigi, which means that we can run out of here the moment that the lights go out. Which, by the way, the lights are about to go out.
So here's a fun fact that you might have already heard. In LM1, at least, this is actually an entirely different mansion that you're in the Blackout. They just warp you to a different map. But in this game, I can't say if it's the same or not, because I haven't looked into the code, but it probably is, knowing how they made it. So yeah, that's unfortunate. So the goal of the Blackout is to get scared as little as possible, and then capture Grimly, who is going to be completely luck-based. He can basically get captured instantly, or he can take in LM1, the longest Grimly is like 48 seconds. We don't know if that's the max, or if it can go on for infinity, or if there is a max. But in this game, it feels basically the same. So he can either get really lucky and get him instantly, or he can take a really long time and lose him several seconds.
All right, let's see if we can try to stop a ghost from spawning in here. You got to move just right. Okay. Oh.
Unfortunate.
All right, what do we got, Grimly? Oh, nice.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty light there. So one thing you might have seen him do is, in this game, not only can you hold the B button to go into sidestep when you know you don't have your vacuum out, but if you do pull your vacuum out, you can actually use the B button to go into standard mode. In LM1, if you have the vacuum out, you're stuck in sidestep mode. But in this game, if you hold your vacuum out and press the hold B, you can go to standard mode, and right there, he uses it to turn around and capture Grimly quickly.
Yeah, the implementation of multiple movement styles at the press of a button in this game is, I think, one of the coolest features. Because the old game used to have to pause and change from sidestep to regular mode.
And that lost time, so you basically never do it. Optimally, you don't do it anywhere.
All right, here we go. This is probably the hardest boo in this run. This is the Breaker Boo. So, on the original game, this boo is notorious for its really difficult one cycle, which we don't have on 3DS. So we're just trying to take as much health off of him before he escapes as we can.
Yeah, so this boo is pretty hard, but what makes him nice is that we are basically guaranteed to 2-cycle him, and because he has 200 health...
No!
Alright, he's good. Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's probably the most unfortunate thing that could happen. It's okay. If you check the bottom screen, you'll watch his little boost sprite. He might move back into this room, or he might go left into pipe room. Either way, it doesn't matter, because we have to get him later anyway. But that's just that's a more unfortunate thing to happen.
So in this instance, normally it wouldn't really matter that much, but because he got him such high health, it's gonna be hard for him to 2-cycle. So he's gonna really want him to go back into the breaker room, because then he can he'll have more room to work with, and he can make him go left, and then once again he can just get him later and not lose that much time. Because if he goes left now into pipe room and he tries to get him later and he goes back, okay, so he got unlucky here. So
that's okay.
That might be an issue.
We're gonna have to deal with that later. That's the unfortunate thing about this game, especially in these later areas. The boos really dictate what's going to happen, and they dictate it fairly early on sometimes.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was a very quick seller boo right there.
That was basically a textbook seller boo.
That was great.
He spawned right in front of you, and you got him instantly.
Yeah, having him not move on you is awesome. He is one of those boos that particularly likes to move away. And
Yeah.
when there's like, you kind of want to be up close to a boo in order to do effective R pumps. The further you get, the less that you can hold them in place. And especially if there's like something between you, like a wall or an item, that's going to make it harder. So you really like, you like in rooms like this that are just cluttered with stuff, it can be really hard to get in and find a spot to do effective R pumping.
Yeah, so now he's basically going up to the attic, and in this category, the attic isn't too bad because we only need to clear 2 rooms and get 1 boo, but in other categories, like all boos, or even kind of all portraits a little bit, it's
100%
pretty
as well.
brutal.
Yeah, it's just because the boos up on this, one of the reasons that we route the any percent route the way we do is that we want as few boos upstairs as possible, because most of them have like 300 health and require multiple cycling of going in and out of doors to chase them. We only are going for 1 boo up here, really, and that's going to be the boo in the armory.
Yeah,
The rest we just want to leave alone. I believe that Zircon gets Van Gore's boo in his run, so it can't. I think there is some wiggle room, and like certain boos might be slightly faster than others, but yeah, you can. It's kind of negligible at the moment.
Yeah, so
now we've got Clockworks. These bosses on the GameCube games have both a double where you can get 2 of them and a triple, but in this game. I can't tell you how hard I've worked, and I still have no double. So
yeah,
he's
not
not
put
easy.
so much time into this, and he hasn't even got it once. I think the closest he got was what
They popped off at like
20?
18 or 8 or something. Yeah, it was such a low amount of health, and it was like, oh, after that I was like discouraged. Like, what am I? Like,
yeah. In LM1, I'd say that the double in this game is a little bit like the triple in LM1, where it's basically just a crapshoot and you just hope they don't break off. Although I think it's a little worse in this game because the vacuum is really, really, really bad. Even one cycling one of these guys is pretty hard. So trying to get 2 at once is just ridiculous.
Yeah, you're like asking for trouble. And another reason that like a double is harder is that like the vacuum isn't as strong as the one on GameCube, so you can't really do like chip damage on their little propellers, because you have to get rid of the little back propellers in order to be able to suck them up. And you can't really quickly grab one off of a guy. Like you have to stand there and vacuum them for a second to get it off because of the vacuum is just not that strong.
Yeah, and because a double is basically a death sentence if they're at high health, it means that if the soldiers are on top of each other, you want to wait a little bit to take off their valves, because if you take them up at the same time, you're going to get a double, and if they're at high health, you're basically starting to lose both of them. So you might have to do some weird movement to get them away from each other. And as you can see, this room is just brutal. This might be
I had a really
room
good
to
one
have
in practice
one of the hardest
today, and
rooms.
then I just had a not good one here. So yeah, this can be all over the place. 3 tough guys. Okay, fun strat up here. We're gonna be surrounded by ghosts, and we're just gonna burn all of them. Wait, they're gonna get scared. We're gonna grab this fire element. Get it? Luigi, thank you. Okay, so we can spin really fast.
Yeah, because this is where you hold the B button. Can't do this in LM1. So in LM1, you often go for a 6-piece there, and it saves like a second or 2. But in this game, because you suck up ghosts so slowly, it's just not worth it, and we just burn them instead. And this guy is going to heaven.
That guy was in the stratosphere.
I don't think I've ever seen a ghost go that high ever in any, even in LM1. I've never seen that happen. So that's a first.
Yeah.
I am very interested in how that even happened.
So I mentioned this earlier, but we don't have to climb down this ladder. We can spray the element and just fall. Now, other ladders in the game on GameCube let you do that, but yeah, that one in particular is the only one that works this way on 3DS. All right, so we're ignoring some boo pings here. This is a 300 boo, and so is the one in the room to our immediate front. So the armory is where we want to go.
Yeah, and 300 health boos, not only are they ridiculously hard to handle, but even if optimally we could get them to go down and then back up and 2-cycle them, which would be like probably maybe at best like a 1 in 4, 1 in 5. It's still slower than just getting another boo later, so we don't bother with it. So this room go ahead. It's a pretty difficult room to do really fast. But in this version, we kind of just take it safe because trying to set up some crazy stuff like a 4-piece or a 5-piece is just pretty unrealistic, and with the controls of this game, I don't think it's gonna happen for a very long time.
Yeah,
so
it's hard enough to. So I'm gonna try to go for a 3-piece here. Let's see. Oh yes!
So that is a perfect example of the flashlight in this game being good. In LM1, that's unfortunate, but in LM1 that triple would have never worked unless you were tasked maybe. But in this game, he just got it to work.
Yeah, it's really a testament to how powerful the flashlight is. And that's again, it's like you don't think of it probably as like that powerful, like maybe if you used it casually, but it has some crazy utility in.
I go as far as to say it's broken in this game compared to LM1. It really is your most powerful tool, but it still is.
Okay, going in the Jarvis room is not bad as long as he doesn't go right. We don't want him to go right.
Yeah, so if this boo goes right, Brendan might be losing like 20 to 30 seconds right here, which would be awful. I don't know what kind of pace he's on.
That's okay. I'm grabbing ice in here while I'm here. I don't know. This is pretty good pace, other than, I would say, Boo Lossus and Clockworks. Generally... Oh, wait, no, don't go back in, please.
And yeah, you might want to back up a little bit so you don't bump into him. All right. In LM1, you save and quit here, but for reasons we explained earlier, with it not being as fast and also losing the amiibo effects, he's just going to pull off the cloth and mirror work. So he lucked out there. That Boo probably had like an 80% chance of leaving, and he didn't leave, so...
That was very lucky. Yeah, I caught him just at the right moment. But, our luck could still run out here because we have Breaker Boo and Pipe Room downstairs, and Pipe Room's another room where, like, if they leave the room to the right, they'll end up in a dark hallway. In that dark hallway, they can either go back to the left or go right into Breaker Room, and that's a big waste of time. Going right is a huge waste there.
Luckily, it's not actually that bad compared to LM1 because you can come back later and just find him again. It would definitely lose some seconds, but in LM1, that's a death sentence because you save and quit out of Western Room. But here, so the way that we save and quit here is, it really depends on where we are. If we're in the cellar, we'll save and quit, or if we end in Breaker Room, we won't save and quit. But if we end in Pipe Room or Western Room, then we will save and quit. And
we don't even bother trying to suck these guys up because there are little green dudes floating around in this room that love to interrupt the vacuum. No matter how nice of a double you got, they don't care. All right, so speaking of don't care, what's this Boo gonna do?
Okay, that's Pipe Boo. Let's see if this goes well. So this Boo is incredibly slow, so he's gonna try to basically make him go from wall to wall here.
Oh my, he like moonwalked. Okay, do not go right, please.
Okay.
It was like to go the opposite way that you're facing, so that's why I did that.
Now let's see if he goes, we can 2-cycle him. No, unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. 4 health too. Okay, please go left. Thank you.
All right.
This is good. This is good for him. Having him this early in the floor is nice.
So getting him here is optimal. But now he needs to get Breaker Boo, and Breaker Boo is at 160 health, so it's gonna be really tough for him to 2-cycle, but maybe he can do it. So let's all hope and pray.
Here we go.
I believe in you, Brandino.
Oh, again, there's a great example. Like, we had complete control until we didn't.
Yeah,
okay,
so
nice.
That's good. So there he demonstrates. So the way I didn't elaborate too much on how art pumping works. You want to art pump every 10 health exactly. There he was doing it a little bit fast, around every 7 to 8, and because of that, he uses cackle limit really fast, and so the Boo left really early. That's something very, like, especially when you're in a very stressful situation like he is, at the end of a run on a good pace.
Yeah.
He probably isn't worried about too much, so that Boo got away from him a little early because of that, but it went back the way it came, so far, these Attic Boos have been pretty much, pretty good.
We got one left, and that's Weston Boo, and there's some weirdness because of the way that this room goes. This is the only the only room in the game with this kind of floor, right? Like, I don't think there's anywhere else.
The pipe room has it when you walk up to the key.
In that that one spot.
The ice floor in this game, it doesn't feel like it affects it as much because in this game you can be a little bit further away from the boos, but in LM1 it's a nightmare because you have to like deal with the ice while killing the boo. Luckily in this game, because we cleared pipe room, losing Weston Boo is not all that big of a deal. Even if he goes up, which is worst case scenario, he just has to walk through the hallway and open an extra door, which is not that bad. So this Boo, basically, unless you really mess it up and have it go up and then right, it's usually the least risky Boo. Although it has some potential to really mess with you if things go wrong. So let's hope it doesn't happen. I think the Boo's in the you can just knock on that shelf. I don't know if you know that. That's a pretty
I did not know that.
nifty tip. That's one thing. There's your LM fun back today. You can actually just knock on that shelf.
Okay. That's
so
okay.
that, unfortunately, I kind of jinxed it earlier saying that, unless something like that happens. But I believe if Brandino has really good art pumps here.
It's okay. That's okay. Not the worst thing that could have happened there, really. And if we can grab this guy here, we're actually in the clear to save and quit out of basement, which will save us a few seconds.
Yeah, let's see if he gets the 2 cycle here.
Okay, please
so if
go
he goes
left.
If he goes left, he's in a really good spot.
So many times already. Okay, and they've answered every time too.
I think you're 4 for 4 on Boo's going left. That's pretty ridiculous. All right,
yeah.
So now he's gonna save and quit.
Yep. So I need to make sure I save here. Normally I skip through EGAD save prompt, but this time we want to save.
You can just mash X and A and it'll work because yeah.
Oh, and he wants to tell us something.
Yeah, look at him. He's giving you long text like I was talking about earlier. All right. So now he's gonna pause, scroll up 1, hit quit, and then quit out the game. So normally,
and now we no longer have our amiibo active. So there's only only 2 places we can really have to deal with poison mushrooms from here, which is going to be Van Gore and I was going to say King Boo.
Yeah, Van Gore is pretty easy. Usually the poison mushroom is not an issue, but sometimes very rarely it can get in the way. And then for King Boo, if you do everything optimally, it's never an issue. But that fight can go very wrong in this, so there's a chance it is an issue. But I think Brandino's good enough that he should be fine.
We got this.
We got this.
It's a true gamer time. So Van Gore is a pretty fun boss. I think just because. It's a little challenge of fighting multiple ghosts that you've encountered up to this point beforehand. So we have to deal with waves of triples, and ideally you want to hit the triples immediately. But some of these ghosts are pretty powerful, and sometimes the pulls can be hard. So we have a lot working against us here, but ideally we should be getting a lot of triples in this fight.
Yeah. So one thing I can mention while we're in this cutscene here is. It isn't really relevant to this run, but there's actually portrait frames that each ghost gives you. There's bronze, silver, and gold, and the game's criteria for what counts as gold is really stupid. So for non-bosses, that is every ghost that drops pearls, of which there are 19. You need to get their large pearl, but for the boss ghost, they make so you need to end the fight with a certain amount of health, not take even if you beat the fight without taking any damage. If you don't end the fight with this required amount of health, it won't give you the gold frame. And I just felt like talking about how dumb that was, even though it doesn't really matter for the speedrun.
Oh, another thing to talk about. So this game added an achievement system in the 3DS remake. So there's a whole list of multiple rounds of achievements you can do, get a certain amount of money, get a certain amount of ghosts, do a specific mode or something like that. And Saria and I have done the only speedruns ever of achievement mode, and that took about 10 and 11 hours. I actually didn't finish because I hit the 10-hour mark, and I was missing something that would have caused me to play another hour of Luigi's Mansion, and I couldn't do it. But it's really cool. Yeah, it has a whole achievement system. Bunch of achievements, and you get you get a trophy in the gallery for how many you complete. So that's actually part of the completion.
Yeah, but just know that they take a while, especially the money ones.
Oh, and there's a damage one that's really, really hard to figure out. We had figured it out mid-achievements run, actually. That was rough.
Yeah.
Oh, we accidentally despawned 2 guys because Luigi was still active at the beginning of that fight.
Yeah, so let me explain that. So in LM1, there's this cutscene that plays. I'll talk about it in a second. But there's a cutscene that plays after you suck up the ghost, but before the ghost spawn. And in LM1, you can actually move around during that, which means you can turn off your flashlight. But in this game, the game locks you in place, but the ghost is still vulnerable, which means that if your flashlight is pointed towards them, they will very likely just despawn. And it's the worst. It might actually be my most hated change they made. Like right here, before the camera zoomed in there, you were able to be moving LM1, but in this game, they didn't. Also, you want to triple all the ghosts, and then you usually want to burn these guys, but Bradino just felt like going for some cool stuff there, I guess.
Oh, we also don't have fire because I save and quit.
Yeah, he didn't re-grab fire, probably because he wanted to do the triple. Anyway, so this is Van Gore. Hopefully the poison mushroom doesn't screw him over, but maybe it might. It's a little scary.
I'm used to ILs where you have to deal with it more, so hopefully, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
Oh
no! I spoke! Why did I say anything? Why do I speak even?
Oh no.
We just gotta wait.
That's a 10-second time loss. Now he has to just hold R while facing him to get him instantly. That's what I would do.
And Van Gore just kind of sits there and looks at us while we do it.
Yeah.
And we have to grab our key here, but we're heading into the final boss from here.
Yeah, so in LM1, beginners will go for Van Gore Boo here. I feel like it might be better to go for Van Gore Boo than Pipe Boo because less risk, but at the same time, you can one-cycle Pipe Boo and not Van Gore Boo, so I'm not sure.
I think Zircon does Van Gore Boo, but I don't remember.
It's not that big of a deal. In this run, it doesn't really matter because you got really lucky. And you had to clear Piper anyway for Breaker Boo. But here, that mirror there, by the way, is on the fourth wall, so the only way you know about it is if you actually use the Game Boy Horror to look there, so anybody that's like, there's a mirror there? Yes, there is.
Yeah, no, I didn't even find out about that mirror until I started speedrunning the game and saw somebody use it, and I was like, oh, that's just there.
Yeah, so now we're going on to King Boo. So King Boo, like I said earlier, you can one-cycle him. It's kind of hard, although it's definitely not as hard as Bogmire, Chauncey, or even Bulasis, I'd say. But the two-cycle is pretty easy, but it's still very easy to mess up if you get hit or something else goes wrong. So, let's see if Brandino can clutch out a two-cycle here.
Yeah, going for a two-cycle. This game has this incredible boss where it's King Boo and like a Bowser robot, and in order to get Lord King Boo out, you fire a bomb at Bowser's head and just blow it right off. Truly an incredible ending to Luigi's Mansion.
One thing that I'm a little upset about is that in the Hidden Mansion mode, you can actually skip this cutscene he's watching and skip straight to the boss fight, but for some dumb reason, you can't do it in normal Mansion.
Yeah.
And it's the only cutscene in the entire game that you can skip.
Even after beating the game 60 billion times, I have to watch this cutscene every time, despite them having a mechanism to skip it. Like, how dare they, first of all?
Yeah, except for the opening the mansion cutscene and the unlocking door cutscenes that you can also skip in LM1. That's the only one in the entire game that you can also skip is other than the glitches, of course, with the medallions, but it's that, and I don't know why it's only King Boo Hidden Mansion cutscene. It's so dumb, and it makes me so sad that we couldn't skip this, but it is what it is. So yeah,
all right.
let's
see
if he
do
gets,
it.
Clutch out the two-cycle, get the juicy 118.
Yeah, this is a good pace for a marathon run. Pretty close to PB. Bulasis is probably the major difference maker.
Yeah, but that's kind of what happens when you play this category.
Yeah, especially at a higher level. Like, Bulasis becomes extremely important to your run not becoming catastrophic. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
All right, so now he has
we need to
play...
get him down. We need to get to like 250 if we can. Like,
yeah, luckily in this version, the game freezes after you blow his head off, which is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, we can't two-cycle. I don't think we can two-cycle with that, yeah.
It'd be really, really hard, but yeah, you don't want to get frozen there or else it's basically GG.
You're on a timer this whole boss, and any slight mistake like that makes it not worth it.
Bad controls.
That's okay.
Okay, he backed it up.
We backed it up. Okay, so we're... Ideally, you want to get him down to no more than 200 here.
Ooh, that's perfect.
Oh, man. Okay, so because any more than 200 and he puts his head on backwards, which causes a really long animation where he like runs around like with like a chicken with its head cut off. So
yeah, 10-second time loss. Oh.
Okay,
All right,
now
here we go.
we're going for gold here. Time's gonna be when we suck up King Boo and grab his crown.
Yeah, it's when he like fully enters the vacuum. There's gonna be a little cutscene or like animation right before it happens.
He's I think we
brutal.
still do. I think we still do. Okay, time. GG.
That was clutch.
That
was
should
clutch.
not have worked at the end, but it did, and I'm thankful
Wow.
for it.
GG.
That would never work on LM1, by the way. Just so you know, that was an LM 3DS exclusive.
You need two
recovery.
screens to make that work, is what he's saying. 2 screens and a 3D effect. Otherwise, that just would never work.
All right, well, that was a pretty good run. You know,
That was
there's
great,
some-
yeah.
There's some rough spots, but I feel like for the most part, I think the best part of the run was the booze.
No, booze went great for the most part. I had really good luck and I think some good reactions. Overall, I was happy. Good run.
I think the only
happy to show this
really
game off.
bad move was what?
So I ran this game for a hotfix maybe about a year and a half ago. I don't remember. I think it was May 2021. I don't know. It's hard to remember. Time is not real. And during that one, I just look back on that one and know that I've become a much better runner since then and would love to do another showcase. And I finally got my chance to do that again. So I'm really happy to be here and have done another one for everybody with like so much more skill involved. And I think there's so many more cool glitches that we get to do now. And huge shout out to Saria for being here to help with the comms. Very few people know as much about the game as Saria, or about as much about every game cumulatively as Saria for sure.
I was about to touch on that. Like, the commentary was excellent. You both are clearly very passionate about this series. There was so much knowledge about both this game and the original GameCube release. It was so cool to hear about.
Yeah, no, I love to share about it. This is like Luigi's Mansion itself is one of my favorite games of all time, and I wanted to speedrun it for a long time and never got around to it. But when I had the 3DS capture card, I was like, hey, you know what? Luigi's Mansion for 3DS is sitting right there. I want to do it. And I just stuck around, kept doing it. And it's one of my favorite speedruns I do. And I'm so glad that I get to go around and share with people.
Yeah, I hope that somebody watching this is like, hey, it was pretty cool. I want to try it myself. And if you do, go speedrun.com/LM3DS.
I'll show you guys. I'm playing on a Majora's Mask new 3DS XL. So as nice as this console is, it was never made to be held by sweaty hands because like the paint has been shipping where I hold a lot of it in places. So I just have to say, if you want to spend some money on a 3DS console, make it a different one. I found that out way too late.
Oh,
It's
no.
not too late for you guys out there.
Well, where can everyone find you on the internet, Brandino?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitch here at Brandino59. I run lots of things on my Nintendo 3DS and also some other stuff too, like on N64, some other random games on Xbox. I'm also known for some games like Conker's Bad Fur Day and Sonic Lost World. And shout outs to those individual communities as well. And just, yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Saria, if you got anything you want to promote?
I mean, my Twitch is just twitch.tv/Saria_100, but yeah, I mean,
Paper Mario Sticker Star world record holder here.
my claim to fame.
Huge.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
guys so much. Seriously,
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome.
thank you for being
before-
available for the to host as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to help out. Before we take a quick break, just a reminder that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, so please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content. Thank you both so much. That was incredible. And we will be right back. We have one more run tonight for you.
Bye.
Welcome back once again to Passion Project. If you're just joining us, said this a couple times already, but I am obviously not Amber Cyprin. I am Helix, filling in for tonight. Before we get started here with our final run of the evening, just a quick reminder that Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 will be live and in person January 14th through 21st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Use !AGDQ in Twitch chat for more information, and go to gamesdonequick.com to check out the games list. I'm super excited. I'll be there, but I'm also super excited for this upcoming run. Renzi, tell us what it's all about.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, I'm Renzi, pronouns he, they. It's Clock Tower 3. It's a pretty fun run, but also a very enraging run as well. Yeah, we're going to be doing normal mode, which is pretty much just a basic getting the game done as fast as possible.
Cool. Exciting stuff. Go ahead and get started when you're ready.
All right. So the timer starts once I hit new. So that's going to be in 3, 2, 1. All right. So this game has quite a few cutscenes, especially like in the second chapter. I would call it the second chapter, where it's like you walk into a room and then you have to skip like about 5 cutscenes. I don't know what else to say about this right now. It's a pretty I wouldn't say simple, but the routing is pretty easy. All it is just the RNG that you have to watch out for, essentially.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so what we're about to do next is gather up some magical water from behind this chimney. It's just casually just sitting there with a note. And with this magical water, we can pretty much just spray our enemies and unlock doors that have seals on them and open portals.
Water is important, not only for hydration, but also for that, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's more like that. And a ton of letters from family members and other like victims that we get to meet later on. As you'll see, we'll spray this door right here, but we missed. The water actually has a bit of trajectory. You can kind of throw it a little bit more farther than you would normally do, and you would still be able to get that seal. Right now, it's not as a big deal due to how it's just only one door that we need to unlock. But later on, you'll notice that I have a few seals, a few portals that I need to open. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a lot of walking, dodging, and we'll pretty much meet our first chaser, as I like to call him.
So what exactly does the chaser do here?
It pretty much just tries to stop me from pretty much getting to help out like the victim ghosts. And also with the final boss, you could say like it's controlling them, and it's just trying to stop me from getting to helping out these ghosts. And also like you'll find out like other ghosts too, like these blue and red that are asking for items that you could somewhat like help them out, and when you do, they do give you a item that you can use later on. So for this one, since this is like the very early on, it's like a tutorial section basically, and it drops this sigil stone, which normally I don't pick up, but I will today. The sigil stone basically just protects you from getting smacked by the chaser or from the ghosts if they were to fill up your meter. So if you look in the top left, there's a indicator for 3, and that's the number of splashes that I have with my water. And next to it is the bar that basically starts filling up whenever we're filled with fear. There's tons of sections early on right now that you'll see the bar getting full. Green is pretty much like the standard. Once it's red, it's when it's at like a critical moment. And then you'll just see like a panic. You'll notice like when she panics, like the way she runs, it's pretty funny. It's just stumbling around. The problem with that is you do get a ton, like a bit of sprint, like a sprint burst. However, she'll occasionally stop, like in her tracks, like basically like as if she's frozen in fear. And with the sigil stone, it'll actually help out if I were to get grabbed or smacked by a ghost. So it's like a protection hit, pretty much. But I could still get grabbed again or smacked around by the chasers. And whenever that does happen, it's pretty much a game over. So there's like that's just serves as pretty much like the health system, basically.
It's the second game that's been on Passion Project tonight that has a panic mechanic.
Yeah.
The first game had one too.
Yeah, and there are items that I could pick up that can decrease the panic meter. We'll be picking up quite a few throughout this run. We definitely need it for the graveyard section later on, due to a very pesky chaser that we'll meet soon. Very soon. Every single location that we go to changes, so it's not the same chaser. So here we are. We're going to be introduced to our first chaser, Mr. Sledgehammer, who kind of looks like Juggernaut from X-Men.
If I had any knowledge of X-Men, I would comment on that. I don't.
I don't know as much as maybe as much people should. I only know like the animated series from there on, and maybe the movies, but that's about it.
Yeah, you got a leg up on me. All I do is play Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball? You know, I've been wanting to play Monkey Ball. I just never had a chance to.
You should do it. But that's not what we're here for.
Yeah, so there are indicators too, where it has like a green spiral that that we can use to pretty much attack these chasers and just stop them briefly. So as of right now, this is, like I said, like kind of like a tutorial. So that the first one is a chair that we essentially need to use in order to get out of that room. So there's gonna be a lavender water here. The lavender water serves as the panic meter decreaser, you could say. And in such fashion, we'll have one of these dudes screaming our name. Alisa. There we go. You'll hear it. You'll probably hear it most likely throughout getting chased by him and the next few chasers also. So there's the save fountain, and then you know, we're given a choice to save the game and refill our water, but there are other locations where we can actually refill our water that don't involve the save point, because I have a habit of mashing and accidentally pressing save.
Yeah, I was just about to mention, looking at that menu, it looks very easy to accidentally save.
Yeah, it very much so is. And then you'll notice right now once we get out of this section, how every single time, like, I know what's coming up next is that after we defeat a boss, it'll ask us if you want to save, and it's going to indicate on yes for save, and then if I don't want to save, it's going to indicate on no, or it's backwards here and there. So yeah, he does despawn. Yeah, he can just magically appear everywhere he wants to be, and so we're having some good RNG with this man. Sometimes what he does is that he does smack his hammer on the ground and it does fill up the meter. Yeah, so he technically does just respawn wherever he feels like it. So right now, he's still going to be in the piano area just looking for us. I mean, he didn't see us go behind here. He might be a little blind. Also, the music is pretty chill too. I've gotten to play this music in my head sometimes when I'm dealt with like public stuff. Where it's like, oh no, there's too many people. I gotta go home.
Yeah, I feel that.
Whoops. Just one off. There we are. So we need this key in order to get to the next corridor. Once we get through that corridor, we won't get chased by the sledgehammer. So right now, I believe he just came out from the room. So even though he doesn't hit me, it still fills up the meter. Usually, whenever I do cross through there, he's like right behind me, so I never see him open that door. So he's gonna play a little peekaboo right now with his teleporting power right here. As you can see, we're already on red. I used up one of my safety sprays just so he won't get too close. Because right now we need just one extra spray. So there is a thing with this game too, with being able to open up certain items. I mean, not items, but like lockers or interact with anything else, like doors. If the enemy is about to attack you, you're able to pretty much just negate that attack. And I find it pretty sweet. It saved me a couple times. Right now, it did help me right now. So with my panic meter being like this, it's perfect. However, it's not gonna stay. It's not gonna go down anytime soon. There are locations where our panic meter won't go down either. We'll be meeting one of these a little bit later on. Through here for our matches. What do we need matches for? And there he is, the surprisingness of Mr. Sledgehammer. So one more spray for him. And then let's hope we crawl right inside. Yep. Even though he's blocking it, whenever we do spray the enemies, we can pretty much just go right through them. It doesn't matter if they're blocking a door or they're about to attack. As long as we land the water on them, we should be good to go. So you'll notice in the next chaser or so what I'm talking about. Which I find pretty funny, because there's times where the enemy will open the door, just like as if they're looking for me, and if I'm right behind them, and like this door right here, and if they're opening it and I'm right behind them, I can just breeze right on through without like alerting them at all. Yeah, exactly. Every chaser is the ghost of a serial killer. So throughout the entire game, you pretty much find clues about who they are, what they did, and pretty much like that's what we're doing with helping the victims too.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So one of the memos is that we find in the game is pretty much discussing about him, about how he killed a piano girl, which is why this place is in a concert hall. And there we go. We got our first little boost. And we're in a full panic right now. And we can't interact with anything else besides just doors only. So we have to just wait a little bit until it starts decreasing. There's pretty much like RNG as to like when she stops while she's running. There's like no real indicator, well, at least that I know of, to like know when she's gonna stop. I usually just try to get away as much as possible. Oh no. It doesn't look possible, but at first I thought you couldn't fall off of this. if you're not paying attention exactly, you will fall off.
You know, I was thinking about asking that, whether it was actually possible to fall off there or not.
It is. Every time she stumbles, it's like an RNG thing. I could keep holding the control stick forward and it won't do anything to it. And oh yeah, and then some of these chasers also have like these butterflies that just casually pop up, and if they do get near you, they can stop you for a bit briefly. You're trying to like swat them away, and if you have the chaser right behind you, then it could be in trouble. So you'll notice some of these butterflies just showing up casually. Yeah, he keeps missing. She can't get on the board during her panic. No. We need to turn on the lantern before we get on to the boards. It'll indicate that it's way too dark, and yeah, so that's like what we need the matches for in order to get across. Okay. Starting to sound like a Scooby-Doo villain. Ha 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 ha, you got this, G. Ha ha. Yeah, right here, he won't catch up. As much as he stomps around, he will not catch up. The minions are showing up. Oh yeah, and then there's a thing with Alyssa and objects. Oh, and doors too. Whenever we're like close to a door or an object that we want, we're able to pick it up from a certain distance instead of being right in front of it, which really helps out. And somehow for the room. Okay, so we're picking up our item that we need to help the ghost with, and prepare for our first fight with Sledgehammer. Alyssa. Yeah. So this is a document that pretty much just says like, oh yeah, the hammer killer Sledgehammer dude was killed. And that's his vengeful ghost also. This game would also horrify me as a kid.
Yeah, certainly me as well.
And getting chased by just some random dude holding a hammer, I don't know what I don't even think I would run away that fast. Speaking of which, now he's no longer chasing us at all. He retreated back to his concert hall, awaiting for us in the final showdown. So you'll notice that the combat is a little funny. We're about to start shooting magical arrows to our friend over here. And the one thing about this game is that you can't really choose where you aim. Wherever we get the arrow ready is pretty much the only way we're facing. So if the hammer is on my left and I'm facing directly at him and he moves around, then I'm gonna have to wait until he hits me if I'm using a special arrow. So I picked up a green one earlier, and that one really helps out with the bosses as a repellent type of arrow. So right here, I'm just trying to get enough charges to be able to chain them up. 3 chains essentially pretty much makes the fight go by faster. So right here, we got him cornered. There we go. Now he can't move, so that's 1, 2. And that should be it. No? Okay. Normally it is 3 charges. There we go. And we're able to pretty much deplete all his health. And this is what we want to do with every boss. At least all 3 to 4 charges. The magical girl section is Sailor Moon in a way. So he's obliterated. Goodbye. Alright. So you'll notice that for this boss we've gotten the Clover. That pretty much increases our charges for our water. So from 3 to 4. And we got a couple more. Which is really helpful because going through this game with just only 3 charges will be a nightmare. And 3 chains? Alright, so we helped out our piano ghost. Get some closure. And here we are. Save game? No. Continue? Yes. And now we're back to our real world. So we'll be visiting this world a couple times. It's not like the main area. He can't scream Alyssa no more. Yeah, and the thing is that like when that yell, it's like the most funniest yell I hear in this game. The real criminal reading.
Oh no.
Don't they know? I can't read. The winding keys. So we're gonna need these winding keys in order to open up a secret passage. That takes us directly to our second area of the game, which is... I really don't know what to call it. I call it like a house with a sewer. It might have its own actual name. We're about to be greeted with some portals in a bit that you'll see. That door is just a bathroom. It has a spooky skeleton in it. It's pretty weird considering how clean this house is. The house with a sewer, catchy name. It's very catchy. If I had my own house, I'd probably call it that. So it's 2 times to the left and 3 times to the right. To 3 o'clock, because clock tower 3. And ghost maids. It's possible. They have some skeletons in here. Look at this. A secret passage. With portals. So 2 splashes will open it up. The seals on the doors is just 1 and the floor ones are 2. It doesn't change. But if you're trying to go back through that same portal, we have to pretty much open them again. Use 2 charges. And here, yeah, this is like the house with the sewer in the backyard or so. We're gonna be greeted with 2 ghosts. That it's optional if I want to help them, but it's not really required for me to do so. It's usually like on a 100%. So these 2 ghosts, one's missing, I believe, a locket, and I think the other one's missing a teddy bear. Yeah, so we'll be greeted with a couple cutscenes here. I think it's a total of 5. Underappreciated router power. Cleaning the house. I would like that power. To be able to clean a house and just say like, hey, I'm cleaning the house. Alright. One more cutscene. So these ghosts can lunge at you. Basically, at any point that I have my meter at about yellow, not like how it looks right now, but a little bit more full than that. At any point, if I'm grabbed, that's instantly a game over. My next speedrun will be cleaning my house. Oh man.
Yeah, mine too.
I would wonder what the world record would be. Oh. Alright, so it's the same ghost that we were greeted by right here that's chasing me right now. This is not the chaser for this this section of the game. We'll be meeting him shortly. Corridor, yeah, Corridor is still the bane of my existence. Honestly, no, doesn't matter how many times I faced him, there's always something that goes wrong with him. Corridor does not play nice. He reminds me of the new Riddler from the newest Batman movie. Alright, so as you can see right here, I didn't go and get a refill because it's pretty neat that during this cutscene it shows, you know, she's refilling her water. And once we're done, we have 4 charges. So it's like you don't have to go and get a refill. With the cutscene already does it for you.
Sweet. Thanks, game.
Yeah. And just like I said, we don't need to be directly in front of that an item. As long as we're in a certain meter, we're able to pick it up with the spaghetti arms. Corridor's a special kind of hell. Yeah. I don't know what Corridors is spraying on our direction. However, spraying him is what concerns me because he gets on fire. He is? Oh. Interesting. Gotta love it. Yeah. So, I like what I like to do here is I repeatedly start mashing the X button for the action, so that if I'm in a proximity of the doors or whatever I need to do, then I'm able to just do it without having to get so close. Occasionally, if there's a letter somewhere, I end up grabbing that instead, and you know, kind of get a little sidetracked. Not even close for the best Riddler. Oh no, bald. Yeah, this house is full of secret rooms. All right. Yeah, so essentially what this film does is it shows us the secret the secret like switch that we need in order to progress onto this chapter, and also it shows us the picture of the killer or chaser, if you will. Without getting that photo evidence, we can't progress through the story. So there's another bit also where we need to get a document and read it in order to progress. So, reading the real criminal.
Not again.
Not again. Yeah, you can notice the animation's kind of looking a little goofy when I get to certain doors. It's because it's not catching up to me yet because I'm already mashing the button. So that's about the only time we return back to the main real world for now. Now let's get back to business. Let's find out who's behind these killings, who's in this camera roll, what else can we find? Oh. Alright, so So we got a reporter here whose ghost is the one that's haunting these walls. All right. There he is. Look at him. He must not be a very good killer if they got a photo of him that easy. I'm gonna look into that mocap video. Dennis. Oh no. What's here? A secret switch. Wow. Yeah, that's the secret switch that it shows on the picture. The Scissor Man. We're not there yet, but we will. And I'm gonna be crying. Alright, so this is like the sewer section right here in the backyard. I wouldn't really call this a house. I don't even know what it is. Here we are, we're greeted with our friend, the Giggler. Immediately spray him so he can be on fire. Yeah, I'm really concerned as to why he's on fire. Everyone else is like, if I sprayed them with acid or something, but him, he just gets on fire. All right, so we'll be leaving him back there. Go back in. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah, it's playing hot potato. Oh no, he's right here. Goodbye, sir. Water plus question mark go fire? Yeah. It's like, what's in that water? I'm gonna wait for him to come up here a little bit so he can open the door for me. Alright. I'm gonna spray him. He's outside and he just magically appears back in there. It's like me going through him just scared him so much that he just had to go back in that room. And he doesn't show up anymore. For now. For like at least while I'm back in the house. He will show up right now. Let's get our little refill. Because he tends to come out right here and just casually run right through my water. Oh. There we are. Okay. So the item that we need is, was it Shaw? Yeah, Shaw? I can't say that correctly. That's the item that we need for the victim ghost for this world. Delivering acid breathes a lot of heat, but enough to set him on fire. Protosuit is made entirely of sodium. From sodium? Probably. But you got like a rubber suit. You got the SpongeBob rubber boots. Here you go. Uh-oh. I did get a little smack from him, and that's what I was talking about, these minions of his, the butterflies. They emit a noise that's so loud and it rings in my ears that I feel like they are also one of the worst villains in this game. It's just holy water? It could be. Yeah, who knows? Corda would never dare to set foot right here. I don't think his little tank lets him. Alright, so here it is possible to fall off and have to restart this whole section. It's basically in order. This one is pretty much the one that shakes. At any point that you try to readjust yourself because you feel like you're gonna fall out, if you do that, then it pretty much just shows it as if you were taking too long to cross and you fall. The butterflies of death and also death, yeah. Alright. So I think at any moment there should be a ghost here. It depends. I don't know. The ghost just appears whenever it wants to. So right here, if he puts me into a panic, it's fine because we're going to be greeted with our next fight sequence, turning into Sailor Moon. Here we are, the Giggler. All right. Oh, I failed to mention that every single killer has a number of victims and a number of years that they're sentenced to. Normally, what I do is I start spamming triangle in order to be able to skip the counting of the victims. I should have ran. You're able to stop his attacks too before he sprays, and I just as I said, if he moves, then I'm stuck with either having to shoot the arrow or waiting for him to hit me, depending on what arrow it is. Yeah, so I hit him so that he won't, his spray just cancels out for some reason. He's able to do a long shot and a short shot also. So 5 charges and he should be dead. I'm over here trying to turn someone else into the Giggler when I'm himself is the Giggler? That's not true. Oh, he's almost dead. Get closer. Oh. You are able to dodge his attacks when you're not readying up your arrows. Essentially, you pretty much just duck. However, we won't be needing that right now. Because his sprays won't hurt me unless he finishes his little sentences that he likes to say. Okay, that one did. He was a little close. There we go. You gotta pin him with 3 lying B words. It doesn't. The guidebook does not tell you exactly what, like how though. Yeah, you could pin him with 3 charges. So if you're pinning him, like all in one side, you're gonna just waste more time trying to put more charges. So what you want to do is get the first pin and then go directly on the opposite side. And then try to pin him from there. And then once you have him right in the middle, if he's moving back and forth, then you can throw another one right through the middle, and essentially just be able to get the one shot, the Exodia Obliterate. So I thought that too. At my first time playing the game, I was wondering like, hey, wait a minute, it's supposed to be 3 shots, but no, 3 chains, but no, it doesn't specify like exactly how to do it. It just tells you 3. All right. So we're going to be meeting our grandpa. There he is. Woo! It's the same grandpa that lives in that house. And apparently we're kind of looking for him too. So I'm assuming this is electricity treatment plant type of place right here. We're gonna be greeted with another wonderful chaser, another killer who kind of reminds me of Kratos from back in the day. Yeah, it takes a while to figure it out too, where it's like, oh wait, you don't mean like 3 shots literally just in the same spot. I think if it's in the same spot, you could go up to like maybe 5 or 6, depending on what boss it is. And also depending on the number of charges, because most of these bosses have different charges, like to hold. So I think Chopper is like about 4 counts or 5. Actually, I love this music. Yeah, this one is just very intense. Every unique killer has their own little music. Grandpa old man. Yeah, exactly. The grandpa old man. Yeah, there's no way to skip this section as to like pretty much to skip the whole elevator ride. Pretty much just have to sit there and pretend like there's elevator music in there. Alright, so he might try to swing right here. Okay, he didn't. Usually when he does, I tend to cancel his animation just by picking up these gloves. Okay, so he did hit me. He is able to throw his axe. He does give you an indicator as to when he's gonna throw it. So it's not like a thing where you're guessing if he's gonna throw it or not. Time to bald. Yeah, time to bald. This is our favorite bald boss. Like I say, he reminds me of Kratos a little bit. But you can see why. So as usual, he'll appear right behind. Oh! Yeah, I was waiting for him to appear. I could either spray him again or just run. But at this point, I might just spray him. Yeah, so one gets fire, one gets like a little tornado on him. Alright. Bald? Yeah, bald. So at any moment, he can just appear. Just like everyone else. He's gonna appear from the same door that we came in from, so that hallway over there. It still gives me time to do this puzzle. There we are. We need to turn this on so we can get the power in order to be able to leave this place. So what we're about to go do next is help out a ghost, retrieve his spectacles. Uh-oh, I messed up right there. I'm not gonna let you do a front flip, my friend. It's goofy in the context of horror. I feel like he is the goofiest one. Him and Sledgehammer. I feel like they're the goofiest. From Chopper, because that's his name, Chopper. He is probably the most serious one to me. So I could have sprayed him before when he showed up into the platform in order to decrease so I could keep my fear at like a yellow-green. But it's okay, we're not really in a danger zone just yet. He is gonna give you a jump scare after you leave this place, after picking up this key card. So it's turn on the power, get the key card, and then go back to actually turn on the power with the lever. He jumped. Yeah. So he's gonna appear right here. There we are. When Scissor Woman exists? Soon, actually. We're not that far off to meet Scissor Woman and Scissorman. No, we get to play with Chopper a bit more. Who would you say is your favorite, actually? Who would you say is your favorite killer? Once again, he will appear right behind me. Oh, actually, no. We balding. Yeah. There it is. So without turning on this power, we can't get out, regardless, even if we have the key card. There he is. Spray and pray. Scissor Woman's hand down your favorite? This is because you like when she goes slice and dice and snippety snap. Yeah, so the one thing I really hope for Mr. Bald over here to not do is to tell me to take this and throw his axes, because there's no way to dodge it in here. Alright, so that arrow, we are going to be picking up that arrow. Like I mentioned before, we're able to pick up objects, and we're about to pick it up right through the stairs. There we are. So you may notice that I'm kind of hoarding these arrows, and you'll see later on as to why. Don't be scared of the baby crying. It's normal. It doesn't sound like a real baby. I feel like it's Chopper pretending to be a baby. Slice and dice. This is the scariest sequence for you? It could be, yeah, it could be. It was me, I was the stairs, oh no. Here we are. So we're gonna face Chopper, our favorite bald friend. What I find funny is that some of them have lower kills, and yet they have more time served or sentence or whatever. I'm gonna wait for him to get a little close. Okay, he didn't get too close. So he'll always indicate like a phrase of his, where I think he's like, I think he does say, "Take this."
You can't get away.
That you can't get away. That's what we're looking for, actually, to be able to chain him up. When he says catch, he's gonna throw his axes, and we can actually hit him back. There he is. Stun him briefly. So we're always looking for that and his other phrase that he does. So we're looking for those.
Get away.
There we go. As long as you have a semi-powerful charge, you're able to deflect it. If you just let go of the arrow right when he's throwing it, you won't be able to deflect it. And you just risk getting hit, which is okay.
You can't get away.
It doesn't seem like he's the one that's able to get away. Bald. It's the most British thing. You can't get away you've ever heard. It's a night on Bald Mountain. There is a Mount Baldy in California. Alright, so you notice that we didn't actually get to blow him up with Exodia. That's because he did some powers that just disappeared. So now we gotta go look for him. We gotta find him again. If you thought one time was bad enough, no. We get to find him twice. You can't get away, but I can. So you can't see me, sir. You deflect your problems? No, please. No. I have the ray gun. No. Alright, so this is the graveyard section. We're going to be faced with the tasks of getting 2 medallions. And these 2 medallions are going to open up a portal. Not this kind of portal, but another portal to another world that we briefly need to go into. Alright, so you can do this section in 2 ways. You can either come here and meet the ghosts, or you can go and meet Chopper and suffer. And what I mean by that is, you'll see in a minute. You'll see why I mean by suffering by Mr. Chopper. So we're tasked with getting these 3 stones that are guarded by 3 ghosts. So there's a yellow, a red, and a blue. Okay, so I let them grab me on purpose. And every ghost indicates what color stone is supposed to be there. So this one had a yellow one, yet there's a red ghost. So we got to go around and find the stones. The problem is we can only carry 1 at a time. So we're forced to pretty much place one stone there and then do a sequence of grabbing the other stones too. You're the portal, you're not the stairs. I see. The music in this part, it's a very menacing. It kind of, it feels weird in my ear right now, but it is a little menacing. You see, we have the blue ghost. You can spray them temporarily. Let the ghost grab you too. It's comfy. I don't want to be grabbed by the ghost now. Okay, so there are times where you probably will see me use a lavender water if I'm in a animation. So when I use the lavender water and then I get into an animation, it'll still show that it's being used, which is pretty sweet. Oh, It doesn't matter if I get grabbed right there, because this ghost is just going to disappear. You have to do this with the other two ghosts also. So we bless them, making them disappear. So red is done, blue is on the right, and yellow's on the left. Now we're going to go get our blue stone. Get away. And yes, they can just stay in that corridor too. And pretty much it kind of ruins your experience of just trying to run in and run out. Which is why right here is one of the biggest blind spots sometimes, because you can't really tell where they're at. It's more easier for them to just be in the room because you're able to dodge them a bit better, except without like just worrying about, oh no, they're right here in this hall. This one has some type of beat. Yeah. This one I could escape, but he's gonna disappear soon. So it doesn't matter to me right now being grabbed by them. That still doesn't mean I like to be grabbed by the ghost, but yeah. Goodbye. Yep. And we're down to our final ghost and our final stone. Honestly, I would encourage people to pick up this run. It's pretty fun. All right. There we are. Let's get our charges too. Holy water. Okay, so it is holy water then. I don't pay too much attention to the reading part whenever I do pick up that water. So it is holy water that's damaging them, putting them on fire, making little tornadoes, etc., etc.
I mean, as we discussed, reading is the real criminal.
Yes, that
So
too.
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I let myself get grabbed right there just because I didn't want to waste any more charges and have to pretty much refill my water again. I try to go through here with just refilling it once, if I can. So now with all the ghosts gone, we can pick up one of the medallions. So it's a sun and moon. And we need these to open up a separate portal. All right, so let's pick up our medallion. Light moon, sun. Being grabbed by the ghoulies on the other hand. Not the game, huh? Yeah, so we can no longer go through there, so the portal disappears. That's how we know we pretty much did everything right. Alright. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave a mosquito there. There goes one. Alright, let's go meet Chopper. This section right here is one of the most hardest ones for me usually when I don't pick up extra rings and lavender water. Due to being left with only one charge, and if you don't want to have to go into a cabin to go get more refills, and just go through this in one go, then yeah, you're gonna have a very fun, hard time. You're the mosquito? Oh no. There we go. So he's gonna say his favorite words. Oh, nice trick. With a giggle. The giggler. There's too many gigglers in this game.
Oh, nice trick.
Somehow the minions can actually still see me. But he can't. So we want to pretty much just use the invisibility band right when we're running forward so that we can breeze right through him. And he will catch up. There's times where like if we really do bamboozle him, it's fine. He doesn't catch up at all. Also, I hate that happens sometimes where he'll do his attack when I'm kind of far away and it still brings up my my fear meter. Any giggles in chat? There we go. All right, so he might be trying to throw his axe, so we're gonna use our lavender water. Needs more giggling. Oh, he did throw it. Okay. So his axe can pretty much hit a wall and just return back to him. Outside of the combat, I don't think it does anything. But during combat, it can potentially just stun him too. Alright. There we go. Alright. So now this is my favorite part. Let's lose him. Let's leave. I'm gonna try to get invisible one more time. And hopefully this has him go again. Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. So we get a little bit of a head start. Once pretty much we'll notice that we're gone and getting closer to leaving. So as much as he might, he won't catch up. Or maybe he will. But he won't do anything. Look, he can't even hurt me. I'm gone, baby. Kindly waiting for the player. I know. I love that. It's beautiful. So now that we have our final moon stone, we can go through the portal. But before that, let's go get our refill. We'll get our refill of water, of holy water. All right. Stretch. I like these times. Some of these times is like, oh yeah, it gives me a chance to get some water. Which chat should hydrate.
True, I will hydrate as well.
Thank you.
I love having water breaks mid-run. It's very nice.
Oh, it definitely is.
Also, breaks to stretch my hands during cutscenes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. If I know it's like an unskippable cutscene, then I'll just stand up for a quick second just to stretch. Which this game doesn't have that many unskippable. You can skip pretty much most. What do you mean, wow? What do you mean, wow? Alright, so I didn't notice this until Big Scared pointed it out. They were pretty much like, oh look, it's a statue of the Scissor Twins. I didn't even notice it. I was too blinded. So you could see the Scissor Twins right there. Wow? What do you mean, wow? What do you mean, wow? What do you mean? Alright. Oh no. It's an earthquake. Whatever shall I do? Oh. Yeah, you can get stuck there and, you know, go to your doom. Alright, so this time it's for real. We're gonna fight Chopper for real. And no more having to meet him again. So here we are, Mr. Chopper. It's time for your demise. Yeah, I've heard about that too. I've seen some peeps running the first Clock Tower game. I myself have not had the chance to play them, but I want to. WoW Classic? No. Alright, so it's for real this time. No escaping. No more getting away. Yeah, exactly. And he gets his full health back this time, which is cheating. I call cheating. We're just gonna spam him with arrows as much as we can. Okay, that one didn't hit him. You were able to hit him in the corners sometimes. Okay, who's talking? We can, oh damn, we can prompt them to pretty much do his catch this early on if we keep spamming him just with regular shots. As long as they make him go back. There we go. And that's what we want. So he won't get away anymore. One chain. Two chains. I was not able to deflect that one. Okay. Almost got him through the side. You made me waste my chains. Thank you. Thank you for the not get away. Yeah, so for like a brief moment, I don't know why it won't let you chain him up. It's pretty strange. I always thought it was strange. Yeah. But he won't give me the indicator that he wants to throw stuff at me. Now, my best bet is to run away. Oh, there we go. Oh no, I didn't hit him. So when he does the catch and the take this, it's different. Take this is the combination of both axes, and catch is just the one single. So he has pretty much two animations for that, or 2 attacks. I wonder who decided the sentence length too. We can interrupt him briefly right before he starts his animation, but sometimes I failed. Sometimes we're a little too late, and then he's able to throw his axe. There we go. It probably is based on a cruelty, yeah. Alright, this time you want to escape. I don't want to have to do this all just by single shots. Okay, he got me right there. Oh no, we actually sent it back. Perfect. There should be bananas for him. Beautiful. He just wanted to be a hibachi chef? Oh man. I should have went to Benihana's for my birthday. Yeah, Alyssa did need some prep time, exactly. All those first shots didn't count, alright? You guys didn't see anything. Nobody saw anything. There he is. He's toast. No more bald. There you go. Clover of Hope. And we didn't get any more charges. So throughout the rest of the game, we only have 5 charges. It would have been great to have a 6th one, because that would really help. And also because I like even numbers. I don't like odd numbers. Oh, nice trick. Yeah. And we go with Mr. Melvin here. Alyssa, wait for me. He may now get away. It's too late. Yeah, he got away. Somehow. Alright. We got our good friend, Melvin here. Dennis the Menace. Who just goes around and gets himself disappeared. So cue the clown music, please, because we're here in the circus of Scissor Woman and Scissor Man. Mr. Ron Weasley. Alright, so this honestly, I love being in this hospital. Not only because of the clown music, but because it's fun to bamboozle both Scissor Man and Scissor Woman. So what we're basically doing here now is just grabbing up 3 keys. 3 keys so we can unlock this door right here. I'll show you, it's on the left side. To unlock this door right here and get into the portal to go to Captain Crunch Castle. Thank you for the clowns. Why is it basically evens? Alright. So Ralphie boy. Snippity snap. Yeah, snippity snap. Where are we? Where am I gonna go? And thank you for the looking glass. So we need this looking glass in order to go into the parallel mirror world where we're gonna be greeted by the Scissor Woman. Alright, let me crawl out the hole first. Okay, I didn't spray him. There we go. It didn't reach, but it's okay because we didn't really lose that many sprays for now. I should be able to use one on oh no, I was gonna use one on Scissor Woman, but it's okay. Slice and dice. Snake time. Yeah. This is the door. Yeah. So everything is pretty much inverted or backwards. Yeah. Good thing they don't know how to crawl. If not, I'd be in big trouble. She said it! She said it! Oh! How many snippety snaps will she say? Sorry, I got excited. There you are, slice and dice, sippity snap. I'll kill you, and I think that's about it. I think those are the only phrases she says. I am able to spray her right through the wall, which I will. Just for meme. She said the thing, yeah. Goodbye. I don't get to see you ever again. Just kidding. Harley Quinn? No. Alright, I think... Oh, okay. I was hoping Scissor Man was going to open up this door so I could just blaze right through him, but no, it didn't work out in my favor. There will be times where he'll open the door for you. Chivalry. Or so, they say.
Come on, Alyssa.
Jemima? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen like another character in a video game be named Jemima. You were expecting Scissor Woman to wear a suit like Scissor Man? Honestly, those costumes are pretty sweet. Said it 4 times, she has it out for me? Yeah. Alright, where is he? There he is. Ah. I was gonna blaze right through the door, but I got knocked out. 3 keys. Vámonos. Alright. So, there is water here. I'm gonna refill twice. I want to go into the Captain Crunch Castle with full charges. So we're pretty much already getting to the end game. Hospital is a pretty fast location. Just getting keys and running away from Scissor Man and Scissor Woman. So this is where we're going to be faced with both of them and Grandpa walking around talking some language that I don't understand. And we're gonna blaze right through this. All right. We didn't get to catch up to Grandpa, but we will soon. Oh no, Ralph, get away. Spray. Yeah, so no fire for him, no acid effect, no wind. Spray again. Grandpa speaks to Sims. That's probably what it is. Yeah, the Sims. Yeah. All right. So don't pay any attention to these statues. It's just people doing normal things that they do in their house. Very normal. Very normal things. All right. So I get a choice. I could throw Ralph off the edge or just keep going and spray him. What do you think? Should I throw him off? Should I throw him?
You're asking me, I say throw.
Throw? Okay.
Sounds fun.
All right, I'll throw him off. Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't disappear, because it could disappear if he gets a little too close. So we interact with this, and we're able to throw him off. He can't catch up. He's gonna be gone for the rest of the game until we were able to face him later. Throw, eat him. Probably shouldn't edge him. Oh no. Toss. Yeah, he was tossed. We're also gonna be faced with another similar situation with Scissor Woman, and that involves an oven for some reason. Yeah, so don't pay attention to none of the statues. Oh yeah, so I don't remember if I explained what the red arrow does. So the binding arrow, the red arrow, is pretty much when we use it, it's pretty much just a charge already, like a full charge, so we can chain up our enemies. And green ones are just repellents. So we'll see the combination of it once we get to the final boss. So we're pretty much going to use all these arrows at the very end. What do they call it? An oven? I don't know. I'm not the giggler, no. Perfect chance for a water break right here. Yeah, there's no way to fall off of this edge either. You just hold the control stick and go forward. And just have to duck down here. And that's about it. That's all you do. Her goose will be cooked. Yeah. So there was a note that I picked up before yeeting Mr. Ralph. That note pretty much just specifies that there's a hole at this upcoming wall that I'm gonna go to right now, and that I'm able to loosen up one of the bars. If I don't pick up that note, I'm not able to do anything. I can't progress. I have to read that note. And so that's what I was talking about earlier, where you have to do something in order to progress into the story. So it's that right over there on the right side. You're the giggler? You'll be stopped. Yeah. There we are, the steel bars, and that's how we go in. Okay, so like I said, that's the oven, and there she is. What do you think I should do? Throw her in the oven or leave?
Oven.
Oven. All right, perfect. Get out of here.
Anytime I'm given the opportunity to throw things.
Take the opportunity. Look, there she is. Just stuck there. Did I pick this up? Let's go. So we're gonna have to pick up one more medallion after this. Ignite the oven. You're the oven? No, we won't do that. It's a pizza oven. Yeah. Oh no. Anytime the camera changes, sometimes I'll hold the control stick in the wrong direction, and she tends to just go backwards. So if you see me do that, you didn't see anything. The narrative strikes again. Yeah. So we stop her briefly for now. We are given a chance to either do that or just keep going. But it doesn't change the fact that she'll still show up again. Okay, so one more stone. We're gonna have to go read a book, because, you know, you can have fun with a library card.
Slice and dice. No!
There's no need for me to do that. I want to stop her before she does the full animation if I'm trying to run by, so I won't get smacked. It is very wonky, yes. It does take some time to get used to them. It did take me a long time to get used to them too. Even though like I've been running the game for like at least a year now. I just found it more easier. Just keep holding the direction that you pretty much just have it at already. Read? Yeah, I'm telling you, the real oven were the friends we made along the way. All right, there we are.
There you are.
No, I'm not.
Slice and dice.
Goodbye. Oh, yeah. I was holding the direction a little different way.
Slice and dice.
No slicing and dicing. We're not slicing no pizzas. Alright. So we're gonna open up another secret room in this Captain Crunch castle, where we'll still be chased by her for a little bit. Yeah, you can't be loud in the library. Over here talking about slice and dice? No, I'm trying to read my book. You just go through the hall. Thank you for the snippety snack. The only snippety that we got in this castle. Endings? Just one. Look, it's Grandpa. It's Grandpa. Wow, what a cool painting. It's just one ending, unless you count like death. I'm gonna give away pizzas to chat. I'm not giving away pizzas. There's no Best Buy giveaway. There's none of that. Yeah, just pretty much just one ending. Who the what, the why, and the now? Just tuning in. This is Clock Tower 3. Survival horror at its finest. Pizza chat? No. Alright, so what we did now is turn on the statues, or the knight statues, if you will. They're holding some deadly axes. We have to calculate properly if we want to go through it without getting harmed. These don't fill up your meter. At any point you get smacked by one, that's it. Bye-bye. So it's important to time it right. Bring your own milk? You were told it was BB pizza? Who told you this?
I want pizza.
Pizza? Oh, please. No pizza. I have pizza bagel?
I would settle for that.
Perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have enough for chat. No. You can't be saying that everybody gets their pizza, because then I'm gonna have to be obligated. You didn't hear that. No. Alright, so this thing is timed. Unfortunately, there is a locked door in front. Perfectly fine that we did the other door, because if we didn't, we'd be stuck here. At any point, if you get stuck and hit one of the gates or something, same thing, it indicates that you took too long, and it just the secret like door or whatever just closes on you, and you're forced to go back up and do it again for another unnecessary time. So now it's just showcasing that Mr. Dennis was just being held by the two scissor twins, and we were thrown out. So now we got to go back in there again. So it's forcing us to go once more through the statues and through that corridor. How do you get your pizza? Download? I don't know. Not from me. No, please. No puns, please. There isn't. You're lying. Alright, so all we're missing from that video is just them playing around with Dennis. And so now we're gonna go save Dennis. Once again. Nothing else needed. I don't need to open any of the other gates downstairs because they're already open and no one's gonna lock them. So once again, we gotta go through here and visit the Scissor Twins for real, for real. Downloading pizza is the future. You know what? That'd be pretty sweet. Extra sausage, extra pepperoni and sausage, or just sausage? What's your favorite pizza?
Download a pizza.
You wouldn't download a pizza, would you?
I would absolutely download a pizza.
Yeah, you see? I don't know what happened there, but it should be okay. You didn't really explore the genre? If you get the chance to play this game, you definitely should. Now I gotta wait a little bit. Okay, there we go. For real, for real. Yeah, for real, for real. Yeah, I was introduced into this game about like 2 years ago. I only played it once, and then I thought it would be fun to just pick up this run. I picked up a few other games too along the way, shortly before this one though. So I would say I also started with Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 was actually my first Resident Evil title, and this was on the glorious N64 version. Alright, so we're going to be faced with two fights back to back. It's going to be Scissor Woman first with the lowest health, and then Ralph, who has more health than her. It's an easy fight. All you have to do is just smack her with 2 green arrows and it's over. However, Ralph, because he goes around jumping and having presents for us and moving around too much, it could be a handful. All right, ready? 1, 2. Turn around. There we go. I should also note that for her fight, you don't have an auto aim. So for every of the other bosses, you kind of have an auto aim when you're holding it, when you're holding the charge with the triangle, and it points directly at them wherever they were already standing. So for her, if I'm facing the wall, it won't turn me around. Yeah, you see, he starts moving around. And a lot of times, I'm waiting for this indicator for him to smile and laugh. Also, he does this attack too. He can do it at any moment. Yeah. Honestly, fighting him is the worst. I do not like fighting him. I would rather face Corridor once more. Yeah. And this is why. Shut up. You don't have nothing for me. Uh-oh, I don't even know if he's charging, but I'm running away. Whenever he says I have a present for you, oh, he is charging. He is about to unleash a barrage of, that's what he's unleashing. And you do not want to be near him. There we are. I should be able to grab him from here if he doesn't do Dusty attack. There we go. Oh, he moved. That's the one attack I'm not looking forward to because he can end me at any moment if he keeps hitting me with that. Go more to the right. Ah, damn. Yeah, unfortunately, he's the more annoying boss out of all of them. And he should be done with that. Code Veronica was your first RE, and the game was great. Really got to give Code Veronica the remake treatment that 2 and 3 got. Most definitely. I actually was preferring that game to get a remake over 4. Scissor Man knows Demon Fang. Oh, he's not dead yet, but he will be. Oh. Please don't move, my good sir. Okay, we got him with a small little hit. Yeah, he's one of the more tougher bosses. Due to him just moving around and having like 2 unique attacks that can pretty much just smack you at any moment. And those slashes actually follow you too. Gaiden remake when? Oh man. Ugh. Yeah. Alright, so here we are. We're gonna be blessed with our favorite boss, our favorite grandpa. We're gonna be facing him right now, for real, shortly. He walked into that arrow. I know it was like a baby arrow. I wasn't expecting to get him with that one too. But honestly, it just wrote itself. It was like, okay, I accept defeat. All right, perfect. So now we're going upstairs to go fight our grandpa. Our favorite boss, stairs? No, it's reading. Also, like navigating through here is a chore sometimes. There's like a hitbox, like you're not even that close to like the edge, like right there, like where I'm at, and it just stops you from crawling. So it's kind of a chore doing this section right here. It's not that bad though. You did hear Gaiden, yeah. Unless you play Mario 64, you know, I gotta play it again, casually. All right, so we're in a clock tower. Oh no, that's the name of the game. How poetic.
I get it.
Yeah, you get it. Look, we're not even gonna be so close to that lever. There we go. More spaghetti hands. Which is harder? What's a harder boss? Reading or math? Math. Boy, we sure are in a clock tower, huh? Please. Title drop? Yeah. Alright, so same thing. We're just gonna run past this lever. I was gonna try to get a little bit more closer. So you could pull it with the spaghetti hands. We were playing Clock Tower the whole time? I know! No, I thought we were playing something else! This isn't my Clock Tower! Alright, spinning cogs. Either find me missing cogs, spaghetti hands, and here we are. Grandpa time. I'm not ready for that discussion. I'm not ready. Lord Bruh. And you'll be able to tell. Look at his victims. 115. Look at the years! And he has double health. What are we gonna do? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna bwaha. Okay, I didn't mean for that one to happen. So we got him chained up to... Goodbye, Grandpa. Psych, he's not dead. Lord Bruh, yeah. It's time to bully him. Bwaha? They didn't think to give him more sentences to say, so all you'll hear is "Bwaha, ready to give up now." There's no escape. Oh, we said it at the same time, but there is escape. I didn't get him right, but I will right now. Yeah, you wanna stay clear from the jelly, because it can stop you. And whenever he's throwing his bwaha attack, it's pretty much the same thing as me doing chains at him. So he's able to chain me 3 chains, and it's over. It's over for me. And he has his own animation too for like whenever he does do that attack. He has a pretty sick animation, and I really like it. You're able to stop him in his tracks from going bwaha also. Oh, I did it a little too early. Hitting him with that won't stop him from doing his no escape. You can still get grabbed by the jelly like I did. Alright. Oh, crap. Every time he yells bwaha, you can pretty much already keep moving a little bit, and he won't get you. The no escape, same thing, just move a little bit. I'm waiting for him to do no escape again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so the first few times where I got him into a combo, they were fine because I spread them out evenly. But right now, he's kind of stuck there with no escape. Crap. And he's done. So we'll call time when I step on his jelly. We'll have a short little animation where it's talking about our grandpa and how it's my 15th birthday. There's going to be a little jelly on the opposite side once we're done blasting him. What happened to this genre? We only have souls like these days? GG's. Not done just yet. I think. All right. So we could be greeted with "There's no escape" or a "Bwaha," or maybe a smack. Okay, perfect. All right, so we can just zip right through him, and that's time right there. That's it. No jelly, no nothing.
All right, GG.
Thank you.
That was pretty close to your PB, it seems.
Yeah, it
Good
was
run.
actually really close. I think the last two smacks didn't play out in my favor. However, the first beginning of this fight was pretty smooth.
Yeah, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you could definitely find me at twitch.tv/Rency. You can find me there playing this game and a bunch of other survival horror games as well. I'm probably going to be on Blue Sky soon, but if you're in chat, I'll let you know.
Let's go. Yeah, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank Amber more than me, but
Thank both of you.
yeah. Shout out to Amber. Passion Project, of course, is Amber Cyprin's show. They are a little under the weather today. I hope they feel better very soon. You can check out my show, Parallel Universe, every other Friday. So it won't be this Friday, but it'll be the Friday after that. I'll be there October 27th. Shout out to Limey as well, my co-host. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you didn't know, by the way, GDQX will be live from TwitchCon this weekend, October 20th through 22nd. That starts on Friday. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage at TwitchCon, as well as streamed live on our Twitch channel right here, twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the schedule. As for tomorrow, tune in tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for the first step, followed by a special showcase of Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green. So you've got your entertainment for the week all planned out already, right here on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again, Rency.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
we will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.